Say everybody ever seen my balls? They're big and salty and brown. If you ever need a pick me up. Just stick my balls in your mouth. Ooh, suck on my chocolate salty balls. Put them in your mouth. Put them in your mouth and making pancakes. Making pancakes.
You know,
welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and this is going to be the real episode 124 of GG's The Mouthful podcast.
Suck up my big black salty balls. Put it in your mouth. Put it in your mouth and suck it and suck it.
That voice singing about chocolate balls is Mr. David Santos, aka Dream Twister.
How you doing, baby?
Thank you, Isaac Hayes.
Isaac Hayes, that's his name.
Oh yeah, you didn't know that's his real name? The voice.
The voice. Yeah. I was thinking, what's the name that I would default to?
Barry Manilow. That's Barry Manilow.
That's Barry
Manilow's everywhere. According to you, he sings all deep songs.
Is it Barry Manilow? What? No, wait a minute. I'm thinking. What is that? Oh my god! I'm thinking the Bee Gees guy for some reason. Oh my god!
Yeah. I know you're talking about that. No, that's high pitch though.
That's like that.
That's the opposite end of the spectrum. Yeah, that's what that one. Well, guys, thanks. More than a woman to me.
Ah, yes. Welcome to That 70s Podcast. Ah, yeah. That 70s Podcast, actually. Because podcasts are said in the 70s.
Yeah.
They were downloaded on 8 tracks.
Yes. And they took 3 for just one episode.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It took 10 for just the topic of the week.
Awesome. Guys, if this is your first time listening, thanks so much for tuning in. I assure you, we do not sing anymore. Please.
Not bad.
Maybe by the end. Well, it depends. Depends on how many beers we have.
Exactly.
And since we're already 2 in, you guys are in for a treat.
Yeah. Hey, I am completely dry. I'm just having some aqua.
That's not true because you had some wine earlier. So.
Oh, no. Yeah, I gulped that one.
You sure did.
It was because I tasted something very vile. As I was eating, you guys wanted me to try, what was it? Conch?
A conch.
Yeah, conch. Okay. Yeah, maybe vile's a strong word. I don't like anything that's
word.
fishy.
Yeah.
And I tried it, and it was terrible. And I just downed the wine that I have. Yes. But right now, I'm having some l'aqua. Which
indeed.
is Hindi for sparkling water.
Sparkling water with essence.
With essence, yes. Exactly.
We don't know what those essences are, but they're in there and they're magical.
Yes. It is tingly.
Guys, please go to goodgame.tech. Join the conversation there. That, guys, is our Facebook page.
Invite your friends.
Group. Great group of guys and girls. Also, if you're listening to this on YouTube, iTunes, or Google Play, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast. If you're listening to this on iTunes, please leave a review. We'll definitely appreciate that.
Bring your wife, bring your kid, bring the whole family.
Yeah, just put it on in the living room.
Exactly.
Just listen. Like it's the 50s and you're listening to an Old West thing on the radio.
A Western, yeah.
Well,
actually, we should try something like that.
Yeah, we'll call it the fireside chat.
Fireside chat, exactly. Yes, we'll make our own West, and you'll be the narrator, of course, and I'll be doing the special effect. Yes,
actually, you're pretty good with those.
Here's the horse.
A regular Michael Winslow over here.
And suddenly there was a helicopter.
There's helicopters all over the place. Oh man, guys, what we normally do on the show when we're not doing this.
Who cares? Let's go straight into it. Spider-Man. Tell me about Spider-Man.
We're gonna get to that, sir. We're gonna get to that. First, we normally go into what we have been up to, go over some news items, and then go right into our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic is: did Destiny fulfill its promise?
Destiny?
We're
franchise.
Talking about Destiny. We're talking about,
Have we? Yes. I think we named it, has Destiny fulfilled its promise, or has it been forsaken? Something along those lines.
Something like that. All right, guys, so real quick, we do have some quick house cleaning, we'll call this, from last week's podcast. I think it was last week's podcast. Yeah. Updates on the Microsoft All Access Pass that was brought to me by Mr. Giovanni, a.k.a. Sparrow Wolf. Excuse me. Evidently, while to kind of catch you up, basically, Microsoft All Access Pass will allow you to sort of finance a console and then the two services, the Game Pass and then the Xbox Live. So one thing that I didn't have in the particular article that I was reading from was that, one, it is not available for everyone. Nope. It's only for a limited time, and it may require approval, essentially.
Well, yes, there is a credit check involved.
There is, yes, exactly.
Yeah. But I didn't hear anything about it being limited. I don't think
limited time.
Yeah.
There was something on another article that I was like, it's not something that they're going to be doing from now on. In other words,
well, then what's the point? So
don't know.
Going
so in other words, the next Xbox, whatever that is, may not even have this particular option available. So.
Or this is then testing the waters.
It could be.
To see if they can make it a permanent thing. Yeah, because otherwise I don't feel like it makes sense. Like, oh, let's just grab a small market and finance to those and that's it. I mean, what's the point of what is the point of that? It's not, it's not like it's a flash sale,
True. Very true. Very true.
I will be interested in double checking that.
Oh, yeah. Look into that. Another thing I wanted to bring up is the Nazi issue from Scum, the game from Devolver Digital.
Yeah.
I know I may have sound like I was about to become the devil's advocate for something.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
However, where I was trying to go with, basically, if it's an artistical expression within games similar to, like, say, Wolfenstein, if it's okay for them, then, what's the big deal? However, reading more on it, apparently this is a downloadable tattoo that your character can earn. So when you look at it in that light, it's like, yeah, maybe that's not such a good idea.
No, it should not be a reward.
Exactly.
Or anything.
It should not be purchasable.
No,
or,
exactly.
So
I got to say, I've seen that game spiking on Steam.
Yeah,
it seems to be doing well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
maybe there's something. I don't even know what type of. I mean, what is it? Like a battle royale?
It's a battle royale game, yeah. In a prison, though.
No wonder. In a prison.
In a prison, yeah. So it's not like you're jumping off whatever. You're basically last man standing in a prison.
In a prison.
So kind of interesting.
No kidding.
Without the tattoos, though.
It's not like you don't see those prison, but you don't ever. Well, actually, maybe you do. Who knows?
Actually, who else?
I don't want to find out.
I think not to already start the Destiny talk, but I think Destiny had to roll back some artwork or something like that.
There was a skin that had a design. I don't remember what the design was exactly, but it kind of looked like it. I mean, you could tell it was not intentional.
Type of thing. No. Like, they just found it online. Said, hey, that would be cool, whatever. And then,
it was actually. I think it was more like design. Like it was just.
Oh, handmade.
Yeah, handmade.
Oh,
they
okay.
didn't prepare for. Oh, they didn't realize that. Oh, shoot, that looks like a swastika or whatever it looked like. You know, I don't think. I mean, I'm sure that would have known.
It wasn't a swastika, guys.
Yeah, it wasn't a swastika. As opposed to this one, which was clearly.
This was obviously no bueno.
No.
All right, guys. So that's the only house cleaning I had, and so let's start with what we always start with, and that is
Spider-Man.
What have we been up to? And apparently I have to go first. So I'm going to go first.
I need to hear anything that. Obviously, non-spoiler ties.
Of course.
Impressions, how does it play, how does it look, what platform. It could be, people don't know if you have a PlayStation or a PlayStation Pro.
Yeah, what I'm playing on.
Yeah. I didn't mean that. Are you playing it on the Switch or on your PC?
I don't know. That's always like, really? Why does...
everything.
All right.
Give me the lowdown.
Well, first off, the lowdown is me only playing about an hour and a half.
Hey, that's enough to make a review.
No, it's not.
Maybe
if you're an IGN. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
I'll take that back.
What was that website that gave it a 7?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, who cares? There was a website that gave it a 7, which is kind of weird.
No. So seriously,
it could
probably be a 7.
Opinion,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But let's be real.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I think they released it just a few seconds before everybody else did. But Anyway, so Spider-Man, I played about an hour and a half. It is so far in the time that I've had, it's
best game you have ever played.
It's no. It's really fun. I'm enjoying it. The colors are vibrant. The whole thing is bright. If there's one I have to say about this game, it illuminates my living room when I turn everything off because everything is so vibrant. The character's vibrant. The guy who plays Peter Parker, he's pretty funny. There was already a one-liner that he had there that actually chuckled pretty, more than I thought I probably would. So I'm like, oh, this is actually pretty good. I'm playing this on PlayStation 4, regular PlayStation 4, and it looks great. It runs great. So my favorite part of it already is the swinging. I am seriously digging swinging through the streets.
I think that is the way to navigate through worlds. That's
all
to a
I
city
want,
now.
guys. Yes, I don't care what game it is. The next Red Dead Redemption, I need to have swinging in the game. Make it happen.
You might be in for a disappointment, sir.
No, but it's really, really good. The only and these are like not complaints. These are just my own personal things that I had to deal with early on, and that first and foremost is controls. Controls are like, and it probably is my own fault because I've been doing a lot of like Metroidvania games, so I haven't played anything like 3D in a while. So the controls for certain things are just catches me off guard. Specifically, you use the R2 trigger to shoot your web, and then you let go to the next, and you shoot it again to the next web. So when you let go, he does like this, like almost like in the air, kind of lets go, and he's not hanging on to anything. He's just like
he's
free
just
flying.
Doing like acrobatics.
Yeah, you can do acrobatics stuff like that. But then when you start going back down again, you hit it again to hit the next building. It's pretty intuitive, but the fact that it's on the R trigger is a little bit weird for me. It just felt like, wow, that's an odd spot for it.
Where else would you put
I don't know.
He's shooting web.
I thought so too, and it's the same.
How do you shoot web?
Obviously, in every game you shoot web, it's always an R2, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't recall.
You shoot anything with an R2.
True, but this is more of traversal, not really taking people down. So you do R1 to actual like trick the little balls of web. Like,
a web? Oh,
yeah, that's what you do R1. So anyway,
wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's normal.
It's a little bit of it makes sense when you after playing it for a little bit. I was like, okay, it starts to make sense.
He wanted it on the square button.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember what it was before when it was the Activision ones. Where was that at?
I don't remember. I never played any of the other ones.
No? Oh, okay. I don't think it was on the trigger.
No.
I really don't think so. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Maybe it was.
It's possible.
If you guys know, please let us know.
Yes, let us know. The other thing was, again, it does have a fighting style or combat system very similar to
Arkham.
Arkham, thank you.
Arkham series. Yes.
Yeah. So very similar to
like
it.
Shadow Mordor, that type
Shadow
of.
Mordor,
I really like that.
The difference, of course,
system.
Spider-Man.
You look like such a badass when you're using it.
The other difference is that obviously Spider-Man moves exceptionally faster than both Batman and
whoever is the guy from
the guy from freaking
the Shadow of Mordor.
So you move ridiculously fast.
Talon, I think his name.
The only issue is in my brain, I already have hardwired that the counter button is the triangle button, right?
It's not the triangle?
It's not the triangle button.
Oh, that's right. I'm canceling my pre-order.
So
I already got it.
That has thrown me off for a minute already. I'm going, every time I go to
why do they have to reinvent the wheel?
Hey, I'm just saying, I'm not making a complaint, and this is not in any way to complain. It's just something like, okay, I obviously have to just get used to it.
Can you change it? Is it removable?
I don't know. I never change things. I almost always leave it as the only thing I ever change is maybe I'll tighten up or loosen the stick on a shooter or something like that. Other than that,
also looking up and down as well.
Other than the obvious, yes.
Yeah, messing it up.
Inverting, yes.
Inverting the view, yeah.
Other than that, the next thing I do in a shooter is maybe tweak the stick. But other than that, I generally go whatever button layout that they have. I'm just gonna go. I'm like, this is what you guys suggest this to be. I'm gonna roll with it.
Okay, so what is the block button? The block button. Let's start with that.
The block button,
or is there a parry, or is there a move out of the way?
It's the counter button. It's the
counter.
the old button. It's the circle. Excuse me.
So the circle is
instead of the triangle,
we're gonna have a problem here, Spider-Man. I'm already.
So that's not in any way a complaint. That's just more me. Okay, obviously I have to get used, and it took a little bit to get used to because again, I'm already 3 Batman games and a Shadow of War game, a Shadow Mortar game. Triangle felt like the right button to hit, and I'm hitting it, and I'm obviously not countering
because it's the right button to it. It's the logical button to it,
perhaps. But the triangle does something else, and the controls itself are, like I said. Other than that, everything else feels pretty well. The camera moves really well. The visuals look, like I said, right. It's a pretty game. From the hour and a half, I can say that it's a very fun game. It's not going. Obviously, this is not going to be a like a DC serious gritty. Whatever this is Spider-Man, guys. You're going to have Spider-Man type of person. You're going to have his type of villains, his type of people he hangs out with.
The silly villains.
I mean, not silly, but they're not going to be masterminds of they're not the Joker, they're not Lex Luthor, and like you're dealing with those type of characters, and I've only ran into one in an hour and a half that I started, but overall I enjoyed it. I already took way too many pictures that I spent. There is a photo mode. That is your downfall. That is the down. That's why I posted on the group, and I was like, oh, Insomniac, what have you done? Why did you put this photo mode in? And I think out of the hour and a half that I played, probably a good 20 minutes was just messing around with the photo mode. So,
what are you going to do with all those photos? You're never going to look at them.
I have them saved somewhere. Anyway, so yeah, that's really all I have to say so far because I haven't not gone any further. I do know I spent the day at work just snoozing or trying not to snooze at my desk because I was like, oh, I went to sleep so late because I did the digital copy and I was there at the midnight. Second. Yeah, at midnight. It just the ticker went down. I started seeing the stuff go. It's open. This is because I got a theme and I got something else. I can't remember what it was, but they all chimed in at the same time. So I just went with that one, just right into the game.
Right into the game. Yeah.
Yes, it's so good.
Isn't that awesome? That I do like that aspect of the digital. Although some companies tend to mess up digital releases, Steam says hi, where they won't. It will be release date and they won't let you play until like 10 a.m. or some crap like that. It's
makes
ridiculous.
No sense, yeah.
It makes no sense. Yeah. But I'm glad, and Sony has done it occasionally
they're
on some
not
title,
100%. Yeah, they're not
at least
100%.
on this one is good to be. We also had or not us, but we had a friend actually that got called by GameStop, and they told him that he could pick up his copy at 9 p.m. Yesterday, which I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, that is
because it's completely unexpected. He was like he's super stoked to play it.
Yeah, he's been so excited.
He was so excited. Yeah. So I tell him. So I asked him. So looks like you had a rough night also, huh? Let's see. Tell me about. Is it everything that you expect it to be? He's like, no, but it's great. I'm having fun. And it's like I understand what he tried to say. Is his expectation and our expectation and my expectations are like through a level that I know it's not gonna meet. And not to say anything negative. This game could still be a solid 10. It's just it's not the second coming. No. It's not craziness. This is not Cyberpunk. So relax.
Yeah, I had no illusions as to what I was getting.
Yeah.
And so far it is hitting exactly what I was expecting. And that's why I started saying that. I was like, realistically, I hope you guys realize this is the type of game you're getting. It's not gonna, it's an open world hero, superhero game. It's really what it is. I mean, it might as well be Infamous. You know what I mean? Or and all that.
Which you love.
Which I did not like. But anyway, so
Ratchet and Clank, which you love.
I do like Ratchet and Clank. Actually, it's pretty good, but it's not like Ratchet and Clank.
Did you beat Ratchet and Clank?
You know what? I don't think so. I think I stopped I was like, all right, I'm done.
That game's great, though.
It is good. It wasn't that I did you finish it?
No.
So what the hell are you talking to me for, man?
Because I've been meaning to. I do want to go back to it because I was having fun with it.
You know damn well you say that all the time and you never go back.
I know.
Never at all. Oh man. All right. So what else did I play?
So Spider-Man, so what's the score? Graphics?
There's no score.
So graphics?
Graphics are really good.
All right. Music?
music.
Soundtrack?
Actually, they had a nice little jam playing at the very beginning as the action starts, and I'm like, if this is the kind of music that's in here, I'm kind of down with this.
All right. And let's see. Presentation
so far is good.
All right.
Gameplay so far is good.
And fun factor.
Fun factor is really good.
All right. So you heard it here. The official review
Oh my God. That's not a review.
is 5 excited faces. I like Game Pro style.
That is not a review.
It is a review.
It is not. What else did I play? I played also some Destiny 2, believe it or not. I was
talking about breaking you down.
I feel horrible. I got called out on it too. It's like, oh, he's never gonna play, not even free, and not even 3 days after the game comes out on PS Plus, it's downloaded. Its entire 82 gigs got downloaded. Anyway. I played that for probably a good 4 hours. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I will mention it later.
Well, we're going to talk about this
the
topic,
hot topic of the week. But yes, I played that. I am already a level 7, which I don't know if that's good, bad. I don't know if I'm falling behind. I just know at some point I'm going, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? I don't understand. I'm playing with a friend of ours on the chat that we're on, and he doesn't know where to go. I don't know where to go. We're just shooting stuff that are popping up, and I'm like, yeah.
Damn, you guys suck.
It's like, okay. So I'll get into more detail on the other, but I did play, and I played, let me see, I started that probably about 7:30ish, and I literally turned it off 10 minutes before Spider-Man came out. I meant it. So that's how much time I put in there.
So graphics.
Graphics.
How
actually,
about sound?
Graphics are actually pretty good. Sound was fine. I mean, it's.
I think soundtrack is fantastic. The soundtrack's really
soundtrack. Good. I guess it was okay. It didn't stand out in any way, but it wasn't bad.
It's it's orchestrated and it hits at the right moment. You say I guess it stands out. Tells me that you weren't even paying attention. Okay, fun factor.
To be fair, I did have
presentation.
Football game going on my phone.
See that you played it the wrong way. See, you have football, of course.
Sorry, guys.
The bane of all gaming. In the middle of it, you wouldn't enjoy Spider-Man that way.
I did. Well, the game was over by the time I started Spider-Man. So.
And finally, fun factor.
I mean, the gunplay is great. It's what I said about the first Destiny, and that is it is a competent shooter with excellent, with most of the time excellent gun mechanics.
There you go. So he gives it 5 meh faces
out of 5. Out of total 5. I also jumped into some Guacamelee. I actually was going to try to finish Guacamelee 2. Man, that game is good, dude. That game it has me laughing for just shit that I'm like, why am I laughing? This is so stupid, but it's so funny. I think I'm close to past the halfway point on it. But God knows when I'm going to get back to it now, because Spider-Man is at the top of the list right now. And going back to Destiny real quick, I kind of see myself at least finishing the story. We'll see. But
of Destiny?
Oh, Destiny 2, yeah. And
it's your curse that once you start it,
yeah, that's my issue.
Yeah,
that's my issue.
No, I'm sorry. Let me modify that. Once you start it, you have to get at least to the last boss,
exactly.
And then you can drop
and then
it.
I can let go and walk away, and I feel complete.
Done. Yeah,
I feel complete. But no, Guacamelee 2, another awesome Metroidvania style game with obviously lucha libre aspects to it.
Nacho Libre.
It is so good, and it looks and sounds so much better. A game with a good soundtrack, let me tell you, that one right there catches me all the time. This is so good. I'm constantly listening to it. So yeah, highly recommend that. I'm not going to stick too much long on that one because I mentioned it before. I did want to bring up as my last thing something that I watched last weekend with my wife. It was a show called Jack Ryan, which is it's an Amazon original series.
Yeah.
And Jack Ryan, for those of you who don't know, he's a Tom Clancy character in a lot of different Tom Clancy books. If you saw Hunt for Red October, Patriot Games.
Jack Ryan was in Hunt for Red October?
Yeah. The character is named Jack Ryan. That's his story.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, shit! I need to see this then.
Yeah.
Because Hunt of Red October. It's a movie that I liked a lot.
Yeah.
But I saw it forever ago, so I don't remember names and characters and stuff like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin played Jack Ryan there. Harrison Ford played Jack Ryan in Patriot Games.
Yeah.
And was he Clear and Present Danger, which was an.
You know what? Okay, without realizing, I just put it together now. Because back then, when I saw those movies, the name Tom Clancy meant nothing to me. You know, that name, I heard Tom Clancy, and I'm thinking Splinter Cell. You know, that should tell you.
Close enough. That's another. Sam Fisher's another Tom Clancy character.
So here, putting it together in the Tom Clancy universe, I realized that I'm a huge fan of those movies because you just mentioned 3 of my favorite movies. I like stuff that is like espionage and intrigue like that, and international intrigue. Hunt of the Red October was one of my favorite movies, of the time that came out. I need to watch that again to get that. Pictures Game. I remember after I saw that, I immediately went to the Vita Club, to Blockbuster must have been, or whatever it was, and I rented Picture Games without realizing that it was in the same universe. I just wanted one of those. It was a quality that he had. Again, not realizing that the characters were the same or anything like that. In Clear Present Danger, yet another one. So it's like, man, I really like those type of movies.
Yeah. They actually, it's really good stuff. If you like
I'm definitely watching this series then.
Yeah. Oh no, the series
I'm not missing it.
I'm gonna get to the series real quick, but if you don't know who Jack Ryan is, Jack Ryan essentially is a CIA analyst. But he's more of the analyst that tends to, be involved with terrorism and stuff like that. He kind of goes out into the field to take on certain things, and the usually not something a CIA analyst does, but he essentially he ends up falling into those scenarios where he ends up doing that. And so another couple films that you may know that have his character, Jack Ryan is also in a movie called The Sum of All Fears, which has...
I saw The Sum of All Fears too. Isn't that it doesn't that
Ben
have...
Affleck and Morgan Freeman?
I was going to... Yeah. And, oh my God. Or maybe not. I'm thinking... shit, who am I thinking?
I don't know.
Hold on. I'll find out. I'll let you continue.
All right. And the last one that he did here, I have a picture for you of Sum of All Fears right there. The Sum of All Fears.
The Sum of All Fear. Yeah. Yes, I saw. Yes, I saw that one too.
The Sum of All Fear actually has a very young Jack Ryan, which obviously is being played by Ben Affleck, and the last one was Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit, which came out in 2014, starring Chris Pine, who played Captain Kirk. So he was the last person to play.
I don't remember
Jack
seeing
Ryan.
that one.
That's the most recent one, and it was okay. It's a good movie for what it is.
Do you know what actor I was thinking? Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, what the hell? For who?
For one of the movies.
Oh, okay.
He seems like a perfect character to one of the movies.
Maybe an older Jack Ryan.
Yeah, not as Jack Ryan.
Oh,
I'm
just to be involved.
Hell yeah, definitely. In that world, dude.
So
you can paint him as a general. You can paint him as the freaking president.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
This Jack Ryan, the show. It's an 8-episode series, so it's easily digestible. It stars John Krasinski, which is from The Quiet Place, which again, and most people know him from The Office, because he actually played a long time a character on The Office, which is funny to see. A character from The Office who is normally humorous, and a lot of things that he does, he's usually a more comical guy. He's very like Ryan Reynolds. That's how he is normally. You know what I mean? So to see him in these roles is like, man, this guy's got range. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, this the series again is 8 episodes long. It is really, really good for a series. I think they knocked it out of the park. It is. I mean, it's one of those that we watched it in 2 days. 8 episodes in 2 days, and it's like, let's just keep watching. It's just good stuff, And it's one of those where
I'll watch it I'll watch it tomorrow. I don't say tonight because I need to have some alone time with Spider-Man. But
be gentle.
the next day, though, I will. I'll have to, and because me and my wife have been looking for the next series that grabs us.
We started a series. That one came out, and I knew it was coming out. And I had it on my list, and somebody started. I saw like rumblings of it, like, "Oh, dude, this is." I'm like, "Shit, we need to do it. Let's just do it, honey." And we did it, and we powered through it, and it was like, "Man, this is really
marketed.
Really good."
My Amazon have been posting it everywhere.
Yeah.
And at first, I didn't think much of it because I thought it was just gonna be like some dumb action. But it turned. Hearing you talk, then I saw. I saw some postings on Facebook about people that have seen it. I'm like, well, okay, I need to give this a go. And now you're speaking my own language when you say, "Hey, this is like."
One of the good things about the Tom Clancy Jack Ryan character and his stories are that the villains or the antagonists, not always the villains, but the antagonists. Hunt for Red October is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Hunt for Red October is Alec Baldwin's Jack Ryan. Sean Connery is the antagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these antagonists in these series are memorable, and at the same time, you're almost rooting for them, even though you're clearly here to watch Jack Ryan. And obviously you're rooting for him as well. So it has this awesome balance of a great protagonist along with a great antagonist and a fascinating story where you're like, man, this is just easily eat it. I can't even wait. If I don't know if I assume they're going to do another season because they've been pushing
it looks like it looks like it's doing well.
However, this particular season, only 8 episodes took, I think, almost 2.5 years to make. So it may take time. Yeah, because of where they're at and where they film and stuff like that. So it's a little bit difficult, most likely, to get to get things going there. But dude,
maybe if
I can watch
really
it
well.
again if I fuck it. If it takes 2 years, I'll just watch the season again.
I could do a marathon of all the Tom Clancy movies and then go into this one. And I bet, I bet that will do it. And you told me that it was a contained, even though it is, what's considered a season, but it is a contained story.
Yeah. It's probably the best part of it. I think one of the things that a lot of TV shows have realized recently is like, guys, we don't know the future. We don't know if we're going to have a season. Let's wrap things up. We don't have to. It don't have to be and they live happily ever after or anything like that. But at least have it contained. And yes, this is a contained story, which is great.
I'm okay with every season having its theme. I don't know, like that. At least while it establishes, it's also cool to have the big cliffhangers and
it is. But
stuff.
it's cool when you know that.
But not in the first season, though.
No, it could do that too.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said,
it worked for Game of Thrones.
It did. But I think they knew the plan they had. They're like, if we're gonna do this, we have to do this.
Yeah.
And they've been successful at it. So.
Yeah.
But I'm done talking, sir. I realize I've taken up all your time.
All right. I haven't done much actually.
All right. Well, moving on to the next. No.
All right. So news. No, because I haven't watched anything, on TV, but that's because I've been playing a lot of things.
Oh, really?
Actually.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. I won't do on the little ones. Like I downloaded and played and completed Dunn County.
You did?
Yes.
Oh my God,
sir! I have to. That game is worth the $5 that is. I think it costs $5 on mobile.
Fuck, I might just get it on PlayStation. It's on PlayStation now. So.
It's on PlayStation, but PlayStation, I think it's more.
Fuck that. If it's a good game,
it is a great. It's a short game. It's I have to guess probably like 2 hours or 2.5 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It is extremely charming. Like this is a game. And by the way, I'm going to use that word a lot because there's another game that I've been playing. That's also very charming, but it's funny. It's the writing on that game is superb.
Yeah,
it
actually,
is
I've
very
heard,
funny.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Dunn County. The best way to describe it is you play the role of a hole.
A hole in the ground.
You play a hole in the ground. Yes, I think you manage a donut shop. And characters will come in and the police. Your order, and then for some reason that means you becoming a hole, or making this hole and moving the hole through the game space, swallowing stuff, and as you swallow stuff, the hole grows bigger and bigger. So it's a simple aspect. It brings me memories of Katamari Damacy.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love that game. Oh, at least the first two. The first two games. So it's kind of like that, where you're looking for an efficient way of handling your environment, or of actually, because, for example, it does have some puzzle elements. Nothing that will have you like super thinking. Like I said, this is a game to relax.
Yeah.
It has an awesome soundtrack.
Oh, okay, good.
And yeah, like I said, it's probably like $5 on mobile. I think it's available on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, I just
believe
checked.
it's available on PC as well. $12.99. Yeah, totally worth it, man. Totally
It's all
worth
right,
it.
just added
If only
it to
for the fun. And it works great as a palate cleanser. Also, it is such a great palate cleanser, especially if you have been playing some heavy duty games or already, and you need kind of like a break. It is a fun, easy. Like I'm planning on having my wife play it.
Oh wow,
as well, because
on phone or just on the console?
I think I might get it. I might get it as a gift
Nice.
on the phone. I don't think she'll sit down. Like she sat down to play that. What's that big puzzle game? Well, where you're on the island.
Oh shit! I forgot the name.
The memory, the witness.
The witness.
And she liked it while she played, but then she never touched it again. So
Tell her first. Let her watch Star Wars, and then when she finishes Star Wars, the original trilogy, present her the game and said, "Here you play the Sarlacc pit."
The Sarlacc pit.
And then she'll, I remember that nasty thing. Oh, okay,
And then you'll be eating everything off. That's like that's right.
That's
you
how
do
you
play
sell
it kind of like the Starlink. Dude, it has a character. It has a squirrel that is probably one of my favorite characters in recent gaming.
Really?
It's so stupid. It is hilarious. It's an asshole. Anyway, it has a description of the stuff you swallow. You compound it in the Trashpedia.
Oh wow!
And the Trashpedia, you will see, like, I can spend hours just reading, about the crap. I
The history
can't think of the examples. Yeah, like of little stupid items. It gives it a humorous, funny twist. But yeah, I played that early in the week. I have fun. What else? I've also played Dragon Quest 11.
Can you even start that game knowing that there's no way you're going to get back to it anytime soon?
I know. I
just can't.
Let me tell you, there was
That's
just
so
too
contradictory to my
There was just too much good vibe on it, and I'm talking not only reviews wise, but also everything I saw spoke to me. Like,
well, you're a Dragon Quest fan, so you have to be one in order to be.
Not necessarily. I'll tell you what it is.
Okay.
I'll tell you what it is. I played, and I think I finished Dragon Warrior on NES. After I played Final Fantasy 1 on the NES, I was looking for the next, great RPG. I was looking. I was looking for the feel that I have when I play Phantasy Star on Master System, which was amazing. And I wasn't so fulfilled with Final Fantasy, but I heard Dragon Warrior, and I played it, and I liked it. It was kind of simplistic, but it was still, it was still fun. So I remember the music, I remember, the characters, the slimes, and stuff like that.
The original first.
The original, yes, yeah. The metal slime, metal flowers you can't kill. I couldn't kill. Actually, that probably reminds me that I did not beat that game because I don't ever remember beating those metal slimes. Anyway, I also played Dragon Quest 8 when it came out.
PlayStation 2,
on
right?
PlayStation 2, yes.
Yeah. I remember playing that one.
Yeah, that game. You played it?
Yeah. I never beat it. I played it for.
I played for
many hours
for a while. Yeah, I played it for a while. That's when they, or maybe I don't know if it was done sooner, but that was the first game that I saw in a while that had that Akira Toriyama look,
the animation,
and I do not like the look of those characters at all.
Ditto.
I don't like, no, they all look, it's silly to say, they all look Dragon Ball character. It's like the only design that he could do, or maybe it's the fact that Dragon Ball is such a big thing.
It's a no. I mean,
that we're going for the similar look.
It is his design, so it's just he's in it. It's his signature. It's like most artists have a certain signature when it comes to painting and stuff like that. So he has.
I wish he wouldn't. I wish he would, because it doesn't give it a particular look. It just looks like, that could be taking place in the Dragon Ball universe just because of the way they look. Your mind immediately goes to that.
I'm sure someone's going to be able to draw a line between those universes.
Yeah, I'm sure that the fans are going to be able to differentiate. No, because in this one the eyes are closer together or whatever. But so it actually took me a little bit to get used to it and to get past that. I played about probably like 5 or 6 hours, so not a lot, but enough to enjoy the characters, which again, the universe, the monsters, very charming. Again, that word, because like all the monsters are too cute. You don't want to kill them. You don't want whatever appears, whether it's a slime or whether it is a pickle with a spear for some reason, and also have fantastic, ridiculous names also. Like everything, you can see that everything was well crafted, especially on this one.
Oh yeah, they're always been really well. Yeah,
this I
can't even imagine what it looks like on a PlayStation 4. I played it back in PlayStation 2.
It looks and on PlayStation 2 that game looked amazing. It looks really good, dude. It looks amazing. The graphics are one of the best things that I enjoyed about it was the aesthetics of it. Not necessarily of the characters, although like I said, I did get used to it and I'm fine with it now. But like the environments, look, they look gorgeous. Like this game on a big screen, it must look like amazing.
Do you have it? What are you playing it on?
On PC.
Okay.
I'm playing on PC.
Towards the end, just sidebar. I just put it on real quick so I can check it out. So.
Oh yeah. On PC, it's not a great port, but it's serviceable, and it looks great. When I say not a great port, what I mean is there's no bugs, it hasn't crashed or anything like that. It's just there isn't the PC options, and I know you're rolling your eyes and you're doing that, and whatever. What I'm trying to say is, you have like limitations on the frame rate. Like you could do 30 or 60. You don't have super widescreen support.
Limitations, but you have two options.
You have two options. Well, on
do
PC,
you need
you might
more
not
than
need
60, sir? Is the question,
sir? I play in Destiny at 120 when it's running really low.
What I asked was, do you need more than 60?
Yes,
on an on a Japanese RPG.
If I have the PC to run it, yes. It's like,
just go on.
If you're giving a Ferrari and you're told, hey, but you can't go past 50. Will you enjoy that? I mean, it'll still take you where you need to go, but you have a Ferrari, you're going to want to floor it.
That could be it, but you also have a Ferrari. It's still a Ferrari. And guess what? It does everything. You're being told you can't do that, but guess what? It's still a Ferrari.
I know,
and realistically, how much fast can you go in Florida anyway?
Like I said.
That's what I'm saying.
Florida, yes.
Yeah, come on now.
I guess there's an analogy there. It's just kind of lost on me right now, but I understand.
All right, moving on.
But anyway, but yeah, that Dragon Quest. The music is great. Although I wouldn't say like I like the fact that it combines the new music, but it also combines the really old Nintendo 8-bit sound effects. So like when you pass to the next screen, or a dungeon, when you go into the dungeon on the Nintendo, it will go clack 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 clack, kind of like if you were taking stairs. Even if there's no stairs, it's just meant to be like, hey, there's a transition, Or when you finally beat the monster, it'll give you either the level up or the hey, you won. It'll still give you the sounding like 8-bit,
Wow.
So yeah, it's kind of look like it's. I mean, obviously playing on your nostalgia, of those.
Yeah, it's definitely meant to be. Yeah, for fans. Yeah.
But
fan service.
Yeah, exactly. But you're absolutely right. I got it at a deal. That's why I pulled the trigger early. I said this is a game that I want to continue. I've been wanting a good turn-based RPG. I am a fan of turn-based RPG. I realize most people nowadays are not. They want the one that modernize, action, character action or whatever. That's not what I look for, and I have been very disappointed with Final Fantasy games as of late. I feel like I told you, 9 is the last, one that I really like, and nothing else because they've been stepping away from 12
was the last one.
No, 12 was good, but it was still not It was not the turn-based that I want. I wanted a true. This game not only is true turn-based, it's also true in its difficulty. I wasn't paying attention
because it's always been known for being.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to pay attention to what you're doing. Mm-hmm. I kind of like that. I like like Octopath. Octopath had that old school, paying attention to it. It's turn based. Too bad that Octopath didn't have the story on it. I feel like this one left me at a really good point where I do want to know more. It's just that I need to play some other stuff now. And then I got involved with Destiny, in Destiny, which it was by accident. And I want to apologize. Yes, I've been playing Destiny.
Why do you have to apologize?
Because I know that is the fun thing to hate.
It is the fun thing to hate. Yeah. It's become almost a joke now.
Yeah, exactly. And people want to trash on it. And there's some comments, on the group and all that. But in all, so far, and I haven't played Spider-Man. I preface with that. I haven't played Spider-Man. I almost feel like if it wasn't for the fact that I'm too curious about it, I will continue Destiny for the story that I was having. I'm playing. I should say I'm playing the Forsaken expansion.
Yeah.
So this week I had the pleasure actually of playing with one of our group members. Daniel Melendez. Thank you. Yes. And I didn't know it was him actually. I thought it was some as always. I think it was some some rando that joined my playthrough, and I was like, okay, fine. And I feel bad because whenever I'm going through the story the first time, I don't want to be interrupted. I don't want to have anybody talking to me. So he was constantly asking me, "Can you hear me?" Typing, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" And I'm like, "No, dude, I actually have chat muted." No offense, but I kind of going through it, and I prefer to do it this way. I know this is some weird thing that I am. I apologize, but I know he was extremely cool about it. He actually stuck with me. He helped me start and beat the second inspection that I hadn't beaten, which was Warmine.
Warmine, okay.
Yeah,
Warmine or Warwind?
Warmine.
Yeah,
Warmine. And so I had a great time going through that, and then as I was ready to go into the expansion, actually I hadn't bought the expansion, at that time just yet. It was just I realized I was having fun with Destiny, and that was kind of shocking. And I was like, I like this feeling. I want more of it. What do I have to do? Where do I sign up? So I went immediately right there and bought the expansion because I was noticing as well that, okay, I don't want it to end. And I did, and I played the first mission, and say what you will, that the original, I thought that story of Destiny 2 was serviceable. It was fine. It was not
Destiny 2
Vanilla. Yeah. I mean, again, being, I know it's fun to hate on Destiny.
No.
I never care about the story of the story of Destiny 1. Ha. Yeah, as if. But I think Taken King was like, okay, you're jump starting something. At least you're trying. Destiny 2 was a little bit more. It had a little bit more cutscenes, but and you'll give your impressions. I know, this is not going to turn anybody's mind away. But this one, it started really strong. It started really good. It was almost and even though we know what happens, we know what's happened, on this one, because it had been played on trailers.
Yeah.
What happens to K6, but seeing it, it gives you that moment, that holy shit moment of
shit just got real.
And I think that's what Danny put, actually. Shit just got real. But no, that moment of Mass Effect 2, the intro of Mass Effect 2, before it shows you the.
I never played Mass Effect. Oh, Mass Effect 2. I'm
Two.
sorry. I'm thinking something else. My bad.
Of course, you played Mass Effect 2.
Mass Effect 2, yes.
Mass Effect 2, one of the best intros in a game. One of the best, because Last of Us says hi.
For some reason, my mind went to Halo. I don't know why.
I don't know. Maybe because it's Bungie. Who knows? But it's one of those things where it's like very ominous. What happens is a holy shit moment, and then Mass Effect. And you're like with shivers. It was, it was almost that level of oh, this is good. And then I had to go to bed because it was like 1:15 already, and I had to work the next day. So I had to leave it at that. But we're going to talk about more about it this thing. But I was having fun with that. Let me see. I know there was another one. Actually, the sad thing is I know there was another one. I not remember which one it is, which is okay. If I can remember, it probably didn't make much of an impact.
Not with all that, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's leave it at that. Let's say that's all I've been doing.
Awesome.
40 years ago, on Halloween night, Michael Myers murdered 3 people.
After that horrific night, he was sent back to the institution in captivity.
There's a reason we're supposed to be afraid of this night.
I've been preparing for this for a long time. It is not safe to be on the street tonight. Go home! Get out of here! Get inside!
We're back, guys. And we are going right into the trailer of the week.
I don't know why I did I think I was going for something scary, a scary theme, and for some reason the Twilight Zone came out. Hey, the Twilight Zone can be scary.
Twilight Zone can be freaking
yeah. Some of those episodes are very disconcerting, very bizarre.
Favorite episode right off the top. You ready? I'm gonna tell you right now.
The one where he wakes up and nobody remembers him, but he remembers everybody.
My favorite was the one where
they're all like that.
Are they? Okay. My favorite is the woman who has a surgery to correct her face because I guess some horrible whatever happened to her, and when they finally bandage her face, she's actually quite beautiful. But all the doctors and everybody looking at her like, oh my God, it's hideous. Well, there was nothing we can do. And then you turn to the doctors and all the people, and they are like god awfully. They're like deformed. So it's just some insane.
See, they're all like that.
Yeah, there's some insane shit.
I remember the one where your plane crashes in the middle of the ocean, and you find a lighthouse, and you go to that lighthouse, you go down, and there's this whole city, and there's this guy talking to you. He says, neither king nor man, only God. No, the only way.
Wow.
There were no gods, no kings, only man. And would you kindly take us to the trailer of the week?
Trailer of the week. Hey, you ruined your segue there, my friend. No, the trailer of the week, guys, is the... I was going to say highly anticipated, but probably only anticipated by me mostly. Halloween trailer, movie. The Halloween movie trailer.
The Halloween movie. Yeah. Are they calling it? Is it called Halloween or Halloween 2? Just Halloween.
Just Halloween. Even though technically it is a sequel. However, for those who don't know, Halloween has many, many chapters. But the first 2 are considered to be essentially the core, the canon version.
Everything else is fan fiction.
Everything, yeah. Well, part 3 was ridiculous. Something Seasons of the Witch didn't even have Michael Myers. So what the fuck is this shit? Yeah,
how do you have a Halloween movie with no Michael Myers?
Yeah, this is before.
Myers.
Yeah,
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers. Yeah.
I'm thinking, Wayne's World.
So, no, so this was so this is essentially a direct sequel to those 2. They're literally retconning everything that happens since those 2. And so this takes place after that. Now,
I can tell you a couple of movies that should be doing that. We should be having a new prequel.
Yes, I agree. Just do it over.
I know exactly.
A big do-over by Disney.
I would say yes.
So anyway, we saw the trailer. So what did you think of that trailer?
He definitely got my interest. I remember, now that I think about it, Halloween was probably one of those movies that I watched when I was little.
Yeah, me too.
And
probably too little to actually watch it.
Probably too little, yeah. And to be freaked out and say, nope, I don't want to watch anything else. Screw that. And I've never been a fan of the slasher films. Even though I don't think that was considered a genre. Back then.
Yeah, no.
It was just, hey, this is a scary movie about a serial killer. If I had to pick of all those type of movies, the Friday the 13th, the Halloween, the
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Thank you. The other one. I will pick this. I like the idea of this one just because the character is more grounded. Yeah. It's more human, so to speak. He's not a superpower being. Yeah. He's not a mystical thing. Although just like you said, they probably made him into this mystical thing later.
Which is why they're trying to essentially, I don't want to say correct, but definitely trying to say, look, if you look at the first two, you even chuckled at the trailer when they said, Halloween where he killed 3 people, and you're like, 3 people?
3 people, yeah.
Like,
so I know.
Realistically, killing 3 people in one night, that's kind of an issue.
That's an everyday in the United States. Come on, guys. Yeah. Realistically, come on. That's an everyday thing here. If we're gonna pick everybody that are killing,
just saying for the days they came out in the 70s, maybe. Not so much.
Yeah.
But that's much more realistic. This one obviously starts at the begin. The other trailer that we had seen before, the teaser, shows off that he actually is in a mental institution for the majority of his life. Michael Myers. So
does he always have the mask?
Because
that's kind of dumb.
I
would not imagine him having the mask in the mental institution.
No, I don't think he has the mask.
Yeah.
However, they probably won't show us his face because they're always about keeping his face with it. But he doesn't have the mask.
He's probably goofy looking.
That said, the fact that obviously he went away, so he's human, and there's a certain scary element to that to say, okay, this isn't some weird supernatural situation. This is just some guy who literally snapped one day and whatever the case may be. There was a Rob Zombie remake of Halloween, which portrayed a much different version of it. It actually showed him as a young kid first off in the beginning. And the house that he lived in was very different from the Halloween that we seen in the movies. But it was a very broken household. The father was a drunk, the mother was a whatever, and he beat the kids and all this stuff, So that was actually pretty decent, and it kind of obviously led to, okay, well, that kind of household would make this kind of person possibly, However, acting was not the greatest, and unfortunately, that's not what you can do in there. But that's about the only one that I remember after the originals that I actually kind of enjoyed. But yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to this one. Really
it is. I'm not a huge fan of like I said, of those type of movies. But this is the first trailer that I watched, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Last time I watched a movie like that I didn't care about much. The first time I heard that it was coming, and I had a really good time, was It.
Yeah.
When it came out. So maybe it is time to go back, because I'm also seeing a lot of other movies that I feel like they're trying too hard, or even worse, establish their own Marvel-y type universe, but horror thing, like The Nun right now. I understand that it's related to the world of The Conjuring.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, it's like, oh no, I really don't care about that. Now you guys are just trying too hard. I don't care for murder porn. Basically, watching movies like The Saw and stuff like that. Fuck out of here with that mess. Well, that's ridiculous.
Those are definitely very different, and they were called torture porn. But yeah, they.
Sorry, porn. I stand corrected. It's the politically correct term.
Yes, if you're gonna say it, just say it right. No, but that's two movies like Hostel and a lot of other ones that started its own little subgenre of horror films. This to me, Halloween's much more of a classical. Slasher flick and all that, and I enjoy the fact that they're going back to it. They're keeping it a little bit more grounded. They're washing away all the whatever, the fact that he can be shot 15 times and still walk around and do it.
Thinking that is ridiculous. If they did some those movies could be good when there is like a fun reveal or some crazy stuff. Because if it's gonna be, yes, it looks cool. Yes, I like the fact that they're retconning the fantastical sort of Mike Myers and making him, and seeing what happens right after the second one. If I forgot what I was going with actually.
Well done, sir.
I forgot. I've lost my train of thought completely. And you're the one that's drinking. All right, it'll come back to me. Let's move on.
It's all good. It's all good. I'll tell you what, though. Moving on to some news. We're going to move on to some news, guys. One person who I can't see playing, Michael Myers is Henry Cavill. That's not a good match for him.
No, I would say not.
I would say definitely not, best for his, line of work.
No.
And for his future in the business of being an actor. However, he will be playing Geralt. In the Netflix Witcher series. It has been confirmed, guys. They didn't really mention much other than the fact that he has been announced as the lead role. Of course, we mentioned this before in the podcast back then, and I was a little bit against this, not because I don't have a problem with Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is a good actor.
Yeah.
It's just that I feel Netflix is already kind of, I don't want to say they're cheap because they spend money like left and right, but individual projects, maybe not as much as they should.
They're spreading this out a little too thin.
So if you're already kind of blowing your load
wow.
on Henry Cavill.
Wow.
Because
I want to stop listening right now.
Because, he is obviously he's going to have money.
No, yeah, he's going to be an actor that
money. Then on top of that, you're obviously going to have to make him into looking like Geralt, and they better do their due diligence on the air. And again, money involved with making
digitally
no digital, please. Oh God, no digital. Just put makeup. Go old school, whatever, and don't shortchange us. And please tell me you have more money saved after you pay him.
This is a series that have the potential. I mean, it has the potential, but I'm also coming at it very real. I don't think this is going to happen, but this has the potential of becoming like a Game of Thrones thing for them.
That is funny you mention that. That is a common thought process about it. But a lot of what I've been reading on is like Netflix wants their Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
HBO obviously has been doing excellent with Game of Thrones, and clearly people are clamoring for the final season. So every season comes up and they're like, and the subscription rate goes up for that time that they're there, because like, nope, we want to see it, and we want to see it live because we don't want to spoil. You know what I mean? So it's genius in a certain way, and obviously I think HBO is trying to work in many series throughout the year so that they can keep that subscription going. Netflix, I don't think, is in any danger of losing subscriptions unless their content starts to become real shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So clearly they want to fill the same gap.
They definitely want the Game of Thrones. And you know what happens when you play the Game of Thrones? You either win or you die.
Thank you, Cersei. Over to you, Mr. Santos.
All right. Well, keeping it in the Kingdoms world.
Okay.
Kingdoms of Amalur has been picked up, actually, by none other than THQ Nordic.
Fucking THQ Nordic. What the hell are they doing?
I feel like they are spelunking into the world of like old properties and resurrecting B-level games that they can. Good games, mind you.
I missed out on. I think I told you. I never actually played Kingdoms of Amalur, and I regretted not playing
Kingdoms of Amalur. Like it will hold right now. Which is what I definitely expect is going to be the very next thing that gets announced.
I think that's the safest thing. Yeah,
that's the safest thing. A remaster of Kingdoms of Amalur definitely holds up in today, because it's an RPG game. But the emphasis is on action, and the fighting on it is surprisingly good. Like you did not.
I remember seeing the you almost had like finishing moves and all this craziness, and I'm like, damn, I
and
should get
different
into
types.
this.
Depending on the type of character you will pick, it will be a different method of fighting style, and it always looked awesome. It has weapons, crazy.
It had a lot of lore. People were like, the lore behind this game is great, and again, I missed out on it, and the fact that they have So I have a concern. I don't know if you have anything else to put on that.
No, I was going to say no. You go ahead.
My concern here isn't the fact that they got it. I'm glad that they got it. Somehow he has it, other than the state of Rhode Island has the rights to this game. So,
yeah, which finding out how is it that the state of Rhode Island has the right to a game in itself. Yeah. The state of Rhode Island owns Kingdoms of Amalur. Oh, well, I guess not anymore.
Not anymore.
But until now they own it. It's a very interesting story in itself.
It most certainly is.
Yeah.
But the fact is that I'm glad that it's with a game company. My only concern is THQ Nordic. From what I understand, I don't think they've released anything just yet. They're releasing Darksiders 3.
They released Titan's Quest. Titan's Quest is a really old Diablo-style game that got released.
Quest? Okay.
And they picked it up.
And they released it already?
That game was that game was origin. It was out already. It was, like I said, it was an old Diablo game. I think it came out prior to Diablo 3, but around the time that everybody was expecting Diablo, they wanting something, so they did the game. And it was really good. And so they picked it up. They remastered it.
So THQ Nordic.
Nordic,
okay.
yeah,
not THQ.
No, not THQ. They picked it up and so they polished it. They re-released it. And then they released like almost like an expansion, to it, and it looks great, for those type of games. I believe that we gotta give them credit. I believe there is something else. Okay. Not to mention they're working heavily with the Darksiders.
The team Darksiders 3.
Darksiders.
No,
exactly.
I get that. I guess that's actually good news.
And then they released Darksiders. The new edition, the remastered edition. Yeah.
So it's good. I guess that's good news in a sense, because I was concerned. I was like, we haven't seen. They've acquired a lot of. Time Splitters was the last one they did.
Yeah.
Out of the blue, so Time Splitters has been acquired by THQ Nordic. So my concern was, are they kind of buying too much, and what are we doing with this stuff?
I think honestly,
but that's
actually, I think they're doing the smart thing. They're not going with crazy IPs. They're going with the old IPs that they're probably not worth a lot now. Because he has been forgotten in the annals of gaming history. You don't expect it to come back, and really. So it's kind of funny in a way, because they are acquiring the type of games that the original THQ would have published, almost, in a sense, which is those good. Like really good B tier games, which wouldn't lacking
your 7.5, 7s, yeah.
Exactly. Kingdoms of Amalur, though, that's a great property, because, like you said, there was a lot of lore made for this game. There was, because the original plan, and by the way, this was actually the game that I want to say, oh my god, I forgot which Major League Baseball team he used to play, but he was a pitcher.
I know who you're talking about.
Kirk Schilling,
yeah.
He used to play. Maybe you can find who used to play with. But basically, he's a huge World of Warcraft fan. He was big into MMOs, and he had his own company. I think it was called 38 Studios. I think it might have been, and they developed. They were developing this big, huge MMO project, Copernicus, it was called. And then he saw an opportunity to buy this other game, this other developer that was working on this other game, which was Kingdoms of Amalur. Of course, the idea on it was not Kingdoms of Amalur game, but the tech and the gameplay could be adapted. Like he said, that looks great. Let's just put the skin of the game that I'm making, the lore that I'm creating, for this MMO, because eventually, everything was gonna end up being an MMO, which never came out. Never got out. Who knows if there was? I believe there was a prototype on that.
He's for the record, he's been in a lot of teams: Red Sox, Baltimore Orioles, and I think the Phillies, Diamondbacks. I mean, he's been all over the place. So
he played. I think he was playing for the Red Sox when this whole thing happened. Yeah. The company. I mean, I always thought that the game did very well. Here's a recap in case you weren't around the 38 studio when 38 studios went bankrupt. The 38 studios took advantage of some grants from the state of
Rhode Island,
of Rhode Island, and with the they were basically almost loans, not grants. There
was some it were basically money that was given that they requested and was granted to them, but it wasn't without the caveat of having a certain amount of
it back. And the idea was that he was creating this MMO. That was back in the day where MMOs were huge.
Yes.
So in July of 2010, 38 Studios secured a $75 million loan from the Rhode Island Economic Development Corporation. During this time, Governor Shafi voiced his content disapproval very publicly. He did not like the idea of this loan. Mm-hmm. So at one point, 38 Studios was considered in default of the loan with a 1.1 million payment check that was sent that bounced. A second payment was made and it went through because the second payment 38 Studio was unable to pay his employees or those as his development arm, Huge Big Games. Huge Big Games was, I believe, the company that was actually responsible for Kingdoms of Amalur. So Kingdoms of Amalur was released in 2012. It was received very well by critics. Critically, but it didn't do well. I thought it did better. Actually, apparently it didn't do very good.
No, it did not. Yeah, that's the problem. That was the big issue. And it was also not a short game. It was, and I think that's why I avoided it at the time. It was like a huge meaty game. Yeah. That was like a 100-hour type RPG, and I was like, "Fuck!" And I think that's why I avoided it, because I was like, "I'm never gonna be able to finish this." And I think now, in retrospect, I'm like, "Damn, I wish I would at least tried it,"
Yeah.
And now I have that opportunity. So
hopefully. And this was there was plans for a sequel in the works, but the moment that EA saw how they performed, they just
pulled the plug.
Cut them. Yeah, they pulled them loose. Exactly. So it's a shame, but I'm kind of glad to see, because this could be, if done well, this could be a revival of that, and I'll definitely be interested in seeing what they could do with that.
Honestly, the promise, quote unquote, the promise of THQ Nordic. Honestly, I'm fascinated, and I hope that they are able to deliver on what they're clearly trying to do, and that is to revive a lot of properties that had kind of fell by the wayside. And I don't know. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. My next article here has to do with the next. Is it the next? Yes, the next Marvel cinematic film called Captain Marvel.
Oh, Captain Marvel. Yes, I forgot about that completely.
Yes. Captain Marvel will be coming out next year. March 8th is set to come out. So it's going to come out right before the final, or the next Avengers film. I will say the final for now. And it stars, of course, Brie Larson. And Entertainment Weekly had a little spread on on some information. Now, I got to say, while I'm glad I can see a little bit more of what's going on, whatever, I think it was a little bit overhyped, because there was a tweet from Brie Larson who goes, "Hey, Entertainment Weekly, do you want to break the internet tomorrow?" And they're like, "Sure, why don't we just do whatever?" And so I was like amped to say, I was like, "Oh shit, it's happening. Here comes a trailer." No trailer. Just images of Brie Larson in an awesome suit, for the record. I mean, she looks very awesome.
Yeah, she looks. It looks really good. It piqued my interest, because before I had no idea, and I know she was. It was happening.
Yeah.
It was gonna come, but no idea what he looked like. I mean, we saw the little bits, the I think they were from the set, pictures from the set.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. Pictures from the set.
Yeah,
which,
well,
as
that didn't say
usual,
much.
pictures from the set, look a little bit weird when people are wearing superhero
Spandex for
outfits.
no
It's
reason,
like,
yeah.
okay.
But drinking Starbucks.
Yeah. Exactly. It just always looks odd. But that said, I think it was pretty cool, and I think she looks really good. I'm just showing David here the character as an animated character in the comics. So I think she fits the role pretty well there as far as how she looks.
Yeah.
And Brie Larson's a good actress, so I'm looking forward to it.
When is it that's coming out?
March 8th.
March 8th. Mark your calendars. I completely skipped on Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, I'll watch it between now and then, so I'm okay.
You skipped also? You didn't watch that movie?
I didn't skip it. I guess I'll watch it. Because I watched the first Iron Man at home. I never actually, not Iron Man, Ant-Man at home. I never actually went to the theater for it. And this one came out. The funny thing, this came out to great reviews. And I was still
Really? It did?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Ridiculously good. And then I'm like, I'll just watch it when it comes out.
Oh, my God.
I know, so bad.
Such a Marvel fan you call yourself.
I don't. What are you talking about?
Marvel fanboy is what I'm hearing. So, Final Fantasy 15.
Why are we still talking about this game? Nobody cares about this game.
Hold on. Could I interest you on the Pocket Edition of Final Fantasy 15?
Isn't this the phone version?
Yeah, the mobile game.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. The mobile. Oh wait, no, not anymore. It's actually being released for PS4 and Xbox One.
Wow.
And has been announced for Switch also. So
that's how the only way they can. You know what? They probably were bringing it to Switch, and they're like, guys, why don't we just bring it everywhere?
why don't we just get it everywhere? Exactly. I mean, we can't fit the real 15, but we can do this one.
This is them still. Okay, so this is my theory. Okay. Conspiracy theorists.
Lay it down.
Final Fantasy 15 took 15 years to make. And this is them going, guys, we still need to make some money back. We're close, but we're not there. What do we got? Oh, hey, we had a Pocket Edition that came out to mobile. It was actually a hit. Boom, let's do it. Let's bring it to console. We'll bring it to Switch going, hey, obviously we can't make the other one run on this, but we got the Pocket Edition.
Hey, the Pocket Edition. You know what? I'm not averse to the idea of a Pocket edition of a big game. I just don't care that it's Final Fantasy 15. And I tried, guys. I really tried liking Final Fantasy 15 because the world itself and like, some of the lore behind it, and even that movie was that movie was great. That movie that they had.
I say it was good. I want to go great.
I mean, it was for a movie for the type of movie that it was. I enjoyed it more than I anticipated that I thought I was going to. So I went full-fledged, like very stoked into Final Fantasy 15. My goodness, another Final Fantasy. Can't wait.
Yeah.
And it's just so cumbersome, and the story is not there, and the characters are well designed, but boring as hell. And I couldn't. So I didn't care about the traversal. Also, I thought it was horrible, the worst thing. But seeing a Pocket Edition, something that could be maybe scrunched down a little bit, take the filler out, and so anyway, all to say that Square Enix has announced a Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition HD. His name of it.
HD.
Is live on PS4 and Xbox One right now. And the Switch version is coming soon. And players can pick the title for 40% off of it next week. So, yeah, not much to say on that one, I guess. But he has his fans, I think.
Sure, if you
like chibi Final Fantasy characters.
So this is the big head Final. Oh
yeah, I mean, they have they have a cool look. Mm-hmm. It's just I feel like it's wasted on this particular property.
Yeah,
actually, side note. One of the reasons I was more excited about playing Dragon Quest 11, even though I knew fully well that I wasn't gonna continue on it, at least I was gonna have to put it down for a bit or start it over again when I started playing again, whatever. Mm-hmm. I feel like I have already given up on Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I cannot
Overall,
get
the
excited.
franchise.
Yeah, about the franchise.
Well, I mean, after 15 years, waiting for 15
dude, but
to have 15 be what 15 is now.
I'm even talking about Final Fantasy's the 7 remake. I cannot care less for this one, and it's sad because it's like I should be like super stoked, super excited. You were super stoked, super excited when you saw you jump on that chair.
I swear to God, I almost cried. I was like, oh my God,
it was happening again. A lot of people got the reactions, but if it's gonna be this type of fighting or this type of gameplay. Mm-hmm. I don't want it. I don't care for it.
It looks very similar to 15, most definitely.
Yeah. So
skipperoo. Sir, I don't really have much else going on here.
Oh, so you're looking to see what? Well, let me help you out. Maybe.
By all means, hit me up.
Did you know that the demo for Mega Man 11 is available right now?
On Switch.
On PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch.
The demo. Oh, shit. Downloading that right now. Hold on.
The demo features a new pyramid environment, which culminates with the Blockman boss fight.
Blockman.
Yeah, Blockman. I like that. I like that. They're going back to it. And so you'll be able to try out Mega Man's double gear system and make Sue of his robot. Come on, who's this? This is VG247. This is not the first crazy sentence that I've read that I'm like, come on, guys, proof read your shit,
guys.
Yeah. I'm having trouble reading it as it is right now.
So Mega Man 11 demo. Okay, that makes sense. They have a 9, 10, and 10 demo.
Yeah.
Full game is only $30. Shit.
All players who defeat Blockman will contribute to a worldwide community mission. Every defeat ships away a block at a Blockman statue. Oh, interesting. If the community manages to make it crumble, everyone who played the demo will receive a stash of single-use items in the full game. I thought it was gonna say everybody that plays the demo will get the game for free. That would have been more exciting.
Really?
It looked like it was going to be that way.
I think you're expecting too much now.
You're going to receive a Phoenix Down.
You can only use once.
Alongside the demo, Capcom also reveals Mega Man's latest adversary, Bounce Man. It's called Bounce Man. Okay. Bounce Man used to be an exercise instructor who was apparently very popular with children. Okay.
This is not going good for them right now.
I don't know where this is going. And I'd rather not find out. At the Boing Boing Park, Bounce Man's stage is very different from most because it doesn't feature the traditional pits Mega Man must avoid. The park is childproof if you ignore the Gabby old. God damn it, 24/7. I hate you. The robot's trying to kill you, of course. What the hell is a Gabby olds?
I have no idea, sir. Let me see.
Gabby, and then it's capitalized.
What is that? Gabbioles? Yeah,
the Gabbioles of robots. You know what I mean? The Gabbioles. Yeah, they're making shit up. All right, so yeah, that's available right now. Let me see what else could get for those that are interested. Civilization 6 is coming to Nintendo Switch this November.
That's a system heavy game. I hope it.
Well, yes.
Okay.
I wonder though if they're gonna make something like Civilizations. Oh, I forgot the name of it. There was a game recently released. I want to say probably 2012. You could hit me up with the fact check. There was a Civilization game released for consoles that was received very well because being the heavy game that it is, mostly CPU dependent, it managed very well to capture the essence of those titles. You know. And the feeling of one more turn. I need to know what happens next. I need to take one more turn. So if you look for Civilization on consoles,
I'm looking for it now. I'm not seeing anything, sir.
Anyway, I'll continue. It was released recently. Just put 360, PS3. Just put Civilization console, PS3, 360, something like that.
Is it Sid Meier's Civilization A New Dawn?
No.
No.
Don't make me pause the podcast to find this out because I'll be very upset. So I'll continue here, filling air.
Okay,
the
here
game,
we go. 2012, Civilization 5 is the only thing it came out in. It came out in 2010
in consoles, though,
and then it doesn't say whether it's console or not.
There is.
I believe you, bro. I'm just saying that I don't see anything here.
I will find it for the hot topic before the hot topic of the week. All right. So the game will include all the latest patches and improvement from the PC version and 4 pieces of additional content. Holy shit. So no, this is not a stripped down version. This is they're actually bringing it, wow, to Nintendo Switch. Interesting. Okay. So it includes all the improvement of the PC versions and 4 pieces of additional content. Like I said, the Viking Scenario Pack, Poland Civilization and Scenario Pack, Australia Civilization and Scenario Pack, and Persia and Macedon Civilization and Scenario Pack.
Yeah, Civ Revolution. Yeah, that was
you. Yes,
360. Yeah,
that's the one. Civ Revolution. That game was great. I mean, I played the demo. The demo of it, which was kind of lengthy, and I was even considering getting it, but then I thought, well, I own Civilization 5. why
go backwards? Yeah.
Why should I do it? No, it was because I'm okay if it's gonna be entertaining. If it has me laying back, comfy couch gaming, I will do it. And I even consider it because it was actually very well done. The way they put everything to the. They map. Thank you. Map everything to the controls. I don't know how they're gonna do with the Switch. I mean, I would imagine the Switch has touchscreen. It has touchscreen, so that could be like a mouse.
It does have touchscreen, so maybe.
And
how does that work when you're docked though?
Well, no, I'm thinking maybe it's gonna be graphically scaled down. But then again, that's not a game where you need to have that level of fidelity because, I mean, you're watching everything is an interpretation of what a city should be and stuff like that. All right. And don't believe I have anything else that is worth mentioning. So let's go ahead and close it here.
And you just heard it here. We'll be right back, guys, with our Hot Topic of the Week.
Hello everyone, this is the one, the only Kaox Reaper, and I'm here to tell like I see it regarding the hot topic of the week. Has Destiny delivered? I'm gonna say no. Story-wise, they delivered more, yes, but it's not what they promised. They haven't promised on character customization either.
Police reported ahead.
You're supposed to make your guardian your own, unique. And you just don't get that. Everybody ends up wearing roughly the same armor for whatever reason that might be, And same thing with the weaponry. There's nothing unique about it. I mean, the shaders are now better, sure, but that's about it. I mean, is that really deep customization? The problem with Destiny, it's exactly that. It lacks depth. This game is shallow in all its features. All of them. Like I said, character customization, class customization, your spaceship, your sparrow, the lore, the strikes, everything. It's just, it's shallow, and it has so much potential, and that's why I love Destiny, because it has potential, but I hate it because it just wastes it away. Honestly, this is a game that I wish I was there with you guys to talk about, because I could go on forever, but I'm gonna leave it at that. So yeah, those are my feelings towards Destiny and Destiny 2, Destiny the franchise. So, you guys have a good weekend. Yeah, that's it. Enjoy your weekend. GG!
And we're back, guys. And we're going to go right into our Hot Topic of the Week.
Hot Topic of the Week! Hot topic.
Hot topic of the week, guys, is simple. As I mentioned earlier, it is about Destiny and is really more about, has Destiny fulfilled its promise? Now, when I say this, I really mean the franchise as a whole. Has it fulfilled the promise that Destiny was back when it was first, announced for next gen consoles and all this kind of stuff?
Back when it was teased way back on the Halo 3 days.
Maybe
Halo
not
ODST.
that far back.
But you know it was teased.
You know
the story.
The tease was there, but
it was literally Destiny awaits. Something like that. It was gonna be.
Nobody knew exactly what it was gonna be. What it was gonna be at that point. So first of all,
the Traveler.
I mentioned earlier that I played Destiny 2. So I kind of want to go a little bit more into what I've experienced and what I've seen. I'm playing vanilla Destiny 2. However, I understand that with new expansions, updates, to gameplay and to stuff like that, those will come in.
Those are already part of it. If you're playing Destiny 2 right now, you're playing the service packs, to call it the quality of service.
Quality of life, quality of game, So, first off, I want to make sure you guys understand. Also, we're not here to bash Destiny. Okay, Destiny is. We joke about it earlier. It's for whatever reason, it's a fun game to pick on. It's a fun game to make fun of and hate and all that stuff and love. On top of that, it's also a fun game to love. You know what I mean?
Hey, our group would not have been our group if it wasn't for that.
I assure you, at least 300 of them are fucking Destiny. They don't comment much because they're fucking playing Destiny all the time. So,
yes,
but that said, sir, overall, how do you feel about Destiny's? We'll get to the future of Destiny, but the path that has been laid out so far, starting with the initial Destiny 1 vanilla launch, is it leading to a good place? Everything you've had so far from it.
I feel. Well, it's good that you made the qualifier. We'll talk about the future, later. Because I was gonna say, no, this is not the moment where we're ready to say Destiny has fulfilled, its promise. Especially not when most, if not all, the movement that has happened so far with this game has been taking care of the issues that it has opened. Like Destiny 1, the major issue was that this game was rushed, to market. It might not have been an issue with bugs, but it was definitely an issue with story, content, and lore, which it was superbly lacking.
Destiny 1.
Destiny 1, yeah. And then ever since that came out, and that was the main concern with players, is like, okay, now what? I hit level 20. What do I do now? There's nothing to do. The story. I mean, there was no story. I felt like I was just doing individual missions for the sake of doing them, individual quests, but with no major goal. Then they started like clamping down and trying to bring a story with the Taken King. A lot of people praised it, and I felt like the praise that was given was a little overhyped because it was basically. It fulfilled what Destiny 1 should. If Destiny 1 should have released with this content, with this level of storytelling, it would have been fine. It would not have been like stellar or anything like that. At the end of it, it's not. The Taken King did not fix Destiny 1. I don't think anything really did. I mean, to the thought of this you should see the lore and the amazing story that it gives you. And not to say that Destiny 1, by the way, or Destiny in general, is just about the lore. I'm a casual Destiny player. I have done raids, but not that many. And my understanding is that's where the hardcore players find the thing that sticks. The problem with that is that you are making that content for those hardcore gamers a high barrier of entry for anybody else that just wants to play casually. And if you're telling me the fun starts when you're doing raids, when you're grinding to that, with so many games out there, a lot of people are gonna be like, well, no, I just played the story and it was meh, and that's all I'm taking. That's all I take, out of it. So I feel like that was a major problem with Destiny 1. Now Destiny 2 comes along, tries to be a little bit more open, try to fix that problem of let's not lock content just to the super hardcore, even though of course they still have the race and stuff, because you're not gonna alienate your hardcore players, of course. Let's just make this content easy. Let's just make the rates easy for everyone now. You could do them at level 1 or whatever. No, it's not gonna be like that. But they did some improvements on the story, and actually I believe they were very front into making those 3 pivotal characters, Zavala, Ikora, and Kate 6, into more than just quest givers, just like like vendors, basically. Just more
like minimal side characters, and actually put them into a more pivotal role.
Exactly, and you see on parts of the story, they actually play a big role, on what's happening, and the secondary characters like the chick, I think her name is Amanda or whatever, the chick that's the mechanic of the of the ships.
Of the ships, yeah.
Which, by the way, the ships that you still can't do anything but look at them, and they look pretty on the loading screen, but you really can't do anything with them.
Can't even see yourself.
It's not that type of game.
Can't even see yourself in them.
Yeah, you can't even see yourself in them, exactly. But I don't know, man. I feel like they're taking good steps, and when you're playing the game with people, it's fun, but to me it's not the type of game that will hold me, that will be like, oh my god, this is the best story, or because I keep mentioning story, but it's because you have to understand that's what I look for.
That's
a lot of people, that's my drive. Yeah, a lot of other people on the group is the PvP what drives them. Same way as a Call of Duty player will not care about the campaign. They just want to play the PvP
as well.
If that's good, some of the people is the raid part.
Yeah,
and
the PvE.
Yeah.
So I'm of two minds of this particular franchise. One, like I said earlier, there's no denying. This is Bungie. These guys know what first-person shooters should look and feel like. And they're great at their craft when it comes to that. The two minds that I have, me personally, I'm the same as you. I play a story. I like I play a game. I am a story-driven gamer. I get it. Gameplay is king, and that's usually the case. But when it's a longer game, I want to have a reason to come back. I want to have some sort of carrot at the end of the stick, constantly, make me go along. And clearly, the Destiny vanilla. Again, I only played the very first Destiny. I never got any of the expansions. That said, I paid $60 for what was supposed to be a full game, and it was a full game. Technically, it was. I got to an end. It took me 10, 12 hours. Did I enjoy the gameplay? Yes. Was there a riveting story behind it? No.
Was there a story at all?
Was there any aspects to it beyond that I can remember fondly? Only hanging out with certain people online playing. You know what I mean? And those were the good moments, because it was like, you when I played Destiny 2 yesterday, and I was playing with a couple of people, and we're just, I was lost at one point, I told you, but we were like dicking about and just, let's go over here, let's do this, what I mean? And I was like, it was fun. We were laughing, we were making fun of each other, we were showing each other our guns. Oh, what do you got there? I got the, you know what I mean? Those are cool elements. That's not what I expected, or I expect from a first-person shooter,
or you're looking
multiplayer game, whatever, That said, I never bought into the expansions, because for me, I'm like, I already didn't, I already feel like I didn't get my money's worth from the $60, which, by the way, I had to give to you because you bought Destiny for me, and I was like, fine, I'll give you the money, and I gave you the money. So, and not in any way I'm blaming you. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying that. That I can
if
say.
it wasn't for you buying it, I wouldn't have done.
No, what I'm saying is that I can say I had a $60 stake in it. Is what I'm trying to say. You know. So, but anyway, the fact is, I didn't feel like I got what I wanted from the $60 purchase. And so why would I pay additional for an expansion or whatever it could be? The expansions that have come out, they have been, as you mentioned, off air. There are your small ones and your major ones. Taken King was the first major expansion that corrected the ship for many people. However, there were 2 minor expansions before that was even released, and that I can't remember their names. The Dark Below, and there was something else, something Wolves. Something Wolves. Yeah, each of them were $20. So let's say, for instance, you were looking for a correction or at least some update that would be meaningful. You're now $60 in. If you bought those 2, you're at $90 in. You finally get a major change at the Taken King, which in itself has its own buy-in of $40. So $90 for you're at $130, and now you're kind of getting the majority of the game that you were originally promised early on.
Now, to clarify, you are not required to buy the little expansion.
No, not at all.
But some might argue that the Taken King was kind of a required expansion.
The Taken King was, if you wanted,
if you wanted to get,
let's say for instance, you are one of the regular players who are playing all the time, and you're you know what I'm saying, and you're looking for that, and you're looking for that the momentum to keep going. This is what you're paying into. Maybe you get it at a sale, maybe you don't. Whatever the case, is still money involved. You're not getting it for free. And again, it is optional. However, once you get to the Taken King, now you're really given the, hey guys, this is it. This is what you've been waiting for. We got this. You got an actual good storyline behind this. Blah 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 blah. Oh yes, but it's $40. Yeah, I know. And it's a year later, mind you, a year later from release. It left me at the very small first expansion. I was like, I'm not paying an additional $20. I didn't get what I wanted out of the first one. So I wonder what keeps people going. What is the carrot they see that I'm not seeing?
Loot, bro.
And realistically,
believe it or not, loot is enough for some people.
No, I agree. But one of the early arguments of the Destiny was that loot wasn't easy to come by. It was, you were grinding for many of things, and maybe you came out with nothing. And that was very possible.
And therefore was a pretty strong motivator, because that carrot was far, but was still there. True. And if you grinded the crap out of it, and mind you, when you're grinding, you got to think of it in the mindset of the Destiny player. They're not doing it as a chore. They are playing with their friends. They are having fun. They all have one thing in mind. So they don't mind that. They don't see that as the typical boring grind. I will see it as a boring grind if I was doing it by myself.
True. But how many of them were frustrated when they went through one, major strike and came away with nothing? It was
true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was literally a wasted thing. That's when you have other loot based games that probably,
that was what I was telling you at the beginning, that the game has been a matter of corrections, of self-correcting
along the way,
and along the way, which
for a price.
Yeah. The patches corrected the problem.
True.
with the loot, but the series in itself has been little by little fixing some of the major, Bungie is good. At least that company is good at listening to the community.
Yeah.
They have a very strong community, making adjustments. The only problem it became was when Destiny, I feel like very young in Destiny 2's life, they try to this is Destiny, we have the numbers right now. Let's just microtransaction the crap out of it.
Destiny 2.
Yeah, for Destiny 2, I feel like the crux of it
mistake,
was opening those microtransaction floodgates, suddenly making it feel like almost, even though not entirely, but almost like you kind of have to buy in order to be competitive.
So what you're mentioning is this is very early on, the XP scaling that was put into the game.
That was bullshit.
And it was based. I mean, obviously, no one ever came out and said that this is true, whatever. But it's pretty clear when you are now introducing loot boxes into your game. What is the point of a loot box other than to force you to look at the loot box? And I gotta stupid
Everburst or whatever the hell they call it.
You gotta kind of at that point you gotta kind of look at it and go, okay, well now we have the smell of Activision in the air that we didn't really have before.
So this is games as service. Yeah. I see. And I always imagine games as servicing. Yeah, they're servicing you, all right.
Depends on how you look at it.
Oh, I can tell you, but it's going to be very graphic.
So another major thing that if you look online, guys, you can find this everywhere. Everywhere where you look. The fact that Destiny 2 wasn't really... Like, the fact that Destiny 2 even exists, it's like, that alone is, wait a minute, I thought we were going to be on Destiny for years before we move anything. That was a very, very early on promise.
Oh, you mean the platform?
As
a platform.
As a platform, yeah.
I will almost argue that it kind of is in the sense of Destiny 2 doesn't play that much different from Destiny 1.
No, so I'm saying, and inherently that's even worse. You know, it's like, well, so you're buying... Again, another $60 title at another 3 years.
It is improved.
It is, and obviously it's made for a current gen, technology,
exactly.
From the bottom, from the floor up.
Yeah.
So clearly, obviously, there's an improvement, and I can even say playing Destiny 2, the most recent, again, just the standard vanilla edition, that graphically and everything, it looks very good. It's obviously an improvement from the last one because the last one was unfortunately tethered to last gen as well, because they had to play on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. That said, even at that time, they said no. This is what we have a 10-year plan. I want to say, I don't want to quote it, but I feel like I remember hearing a 10-year plan.
No, that's what it is. That's right. It's a contract. Okay. It's literally contract.
Yeah. So, and 3 years in, abandon everything. Everything you've spent, God knows how much time getting, because again, the grind is real in this game.
Yeah.
Is gone. You're starting back from zero.
Not only that, but that was literally featured in the trailer.
Yes.
Just like that. Yes. Everything you've worked on. And then it shows all a wall of guns. And then it shows the fucking tower exploding. Yeah. Gone. And like literally like that verbatim on the trailer.
Not only so this is what you call
to add insult to
steering into the slide is what that is. Basically saying, all right, guys, we're about to take away a lot of progress from these guys. How do we do this? Do we hide it? Do whatever, or do we just throw it out there for them to say?
Let's just. It was
steer into the slide.
It was kind of. I mean, I don't condone the fact that it was done, but if it had to be done, and I will imagine that it will need to be done again, it will. Well, that is the thing with MMOs. I mean, unless you're talking about something. Yeah, like World of Warcraft, and even with World of Warcraft, I would argue that whatever time you spend acquiring this, like many items, those become completely worthless the moment the next expansion comes up.
True, but you're not. I can also here. This is one of my complaints of playing Destiny 2 at the very beginning. Obviously, you start the game, you kind of have it carried over my. I completely forgot I had a character, by the way, and it carried it over. I'm like, oh shit, the character's here.
Did it show you
my history? Yes,
your history. That was really cool. You have to
admit,
that's
what I'm saying.
That was really cool because not only show you the history, but also the people that join you when you complete it.
But what is the point if you're going to eliminate all that?
What do you mean? What is the point?
No, I'm just saying
that thing was gorgeous.
It's still a little bit of a slap in the face to say, hey, check this out. Look at all you've accomplished. And we're going to just wipe all that shit out.
No, but it's not presented like that.
No, I'm not saying it is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it can be viewed that way.
Oh, I certainly did. I mean, I understand what you're saying.
So
I understand what you're saying about...
Especially when, like I said, your progress is eliminated, and now I have to start this game. And my God, did I hate those first few fucking guns? Yeah, but just like this is. I feel like I'm shooting pellet guns.
Yeah, but you don't want you don't want to start Destiny 2 overpowered either.
You definitely don't. But there has to be some sort of scaling. You know what I mean? It's one thing to say you've never played any Destiny. So
all right.
You're gonna start
how do you scale it with people that have never played Destiny 1 then?
Exactly what
Do
I
they
ran
start
into.
a character at level 20?
No. Exactly I get the power level and all that stuff, but I'm just talking about there was a feel to the guns early on that are just plain not good. You know what I mean? It's just I was just like I hate
they're
these
chibi
guns. I
guns,
finally got, but I'm like you kind of I did my time. Maybe I didn't do the 300 hours that some people did, but I still did my time and got some good good weapons. At least hand me these and say they're just weak against these guys. Whatever you can do.
But I feel like this is
a nitpick for the record.
Because I feel like the game does well enough in giving you even just completed mission, you get gear that immediately makes you get rid of the level 1 crap and get you better. Some greens. I realize that that's not great, but eventually you start unlocking some blues. Like I never felt like the game was giving me weapons that were crap. No.
Maybe it's just me. Maybe because I spent too much time in the open area just doing shit. I'm just what am I getting here? I get a lot of just BS.
Yeah, you have to.
I finally did get, and it was still in the same mission. I finally did get a couple of blues, and now that's like my main at the moment because I'm like I ain't got nothing else.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I don't like though, and I think the system is kind of silly that they have it, and I'm surprised they haven't gotten away with it. And by the way, guys, we understand this is Destiny 2 from the perspective of two very casual Destiny players.
Yeah.
This is not meant to go. This is not a Destiny podcast, and this is not meant to go into the nitty gritty of the legendaries and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
There are other sources for that stuff. There are other sources, and there's YouTube. Go listen to that. We're talking about from the perspective of two people that just. For curiosity, my play. Yours in the case is honestly, I think your case was, hey, if we're gonna talk about this on the podcast, I need to have experience on it, and this is free, so you downloaded it.
Definitely, that's it's exactly why I did it. And I mean, I would not have dropped $60 just to make a conversation on the podcast.
No, the fact that it was free though.
Especially if it's something that I didn't really care to get. That said, I think it's a conversation that needs to be. And again, we're not trying to bash it anyway. This is not the intent of it. And obviously, we're talking as two people who don't. I am, and I think that's the thing I'm starting to realize. Thinking of part 1, thinking of part 2, going. You know what I think is I think that Destiny itself is not a game for me. It's it's not my kind of game. When it comes to grind, you got to be okay with the grind. Now I understand that they corrected that. Probably to the opposite extent with Destiny 2, where drops were happening more frequently, maybe a little too frequently, to the point where it was like people were now getting a lot of shit easily and all this stuff. So
now the legendaries were not, okay. Oh, and I forgot to mention what my point was, but go ahead and finish.
So it was an overcorrection on that, but I already forgot where I was going with this. My point is to say that I don't. I forgot what I was saying. Go ahead.
I was gonna mention what you think about it. Mm-hmm. I was gonna mention that this is not meant to be the nitty-gritty Destiny podcast. It's from the casual perspective, and I started the reason why we're talking about this. Fuck! Oh
my god!
What's going on? No. The legendaries. So the legendaries. I don't like the fact that you can only wear. You can have a bunch of legendaries, but for some unknown reason, you're only allowed 2 in your body the whole time. Like 1 weapon and 1 piece of armor can be the legendary.
This is in 1 or 2?
This is on all of them.
All of them. Oh, okay.
So if you have and you see you have yellow shoulder pads and the yellow boots and even the helmet, you can't wear 3. Pieces of legendary suit at the same time. Like, why? If this is so loot driven and I want to look cool, and have all the the powers. And I realize you're trying to balance it. I realize the reason why they're doing like that, but it's still stupid. Arbitrarily not letting me wear.
If it's PvE, what does the balance need to be there? I understand PvP.
Maybe not racing with everything on the PvP. I mean, no, I get it. You don't see that on games like Diablo 3. Mm-hmm. You don't see that in any other games. None of the games are going to say.
Those are my point as well. I want to bring those up because these are the direct games that you would want to compare this. Because this is the realm that they're in.
Yeah.
That type of
they're
game.
They're loot games.
Yeah, loot based online games. I mean,
Yeah.
so it feels like it never reaches any of those games when it comes to loot. I don't know of them to be very big on story, but characters at least. Especially when you think about what's the other one with the oh my god.
What? The main characters?
No,
or
the Gearbox game.
Borderlands.
Borderlands. You know what I'm saying? Well, okay, so the story may not be huge in that one, or maybe a little ridiculous, but at least you could.
It was. Until it was.
But
it wasn't
characters.
it was the same thing that happened with Destiny. Actually, Borderlands 1, the story what story? It was nonsense, and Borderlands 1. Then Borderlands 2 came along, and they fixed it. They fixed it to where it'll have a cohesive story. Yeah, it's almost the same thing, except And you know what? No, I'm going to give it to them. I'm not going to, the story of Destiny 1 was not cohesive. The story in Destiny 2 is cohesive. It might have not been super interesting because it's the same thing that you're already used to. And you're also not going to care about when they start talking about the Traveler this and the Traveler that. And you don't really care about the Traveler because you didn't get to meet him or it on the first game.
Yeah, he's one of those. It's just a side.
It's just the thingamabob.
Exactly.
The thingamabob in the sky.
Correct, yeah.
Now the
MacGuffin.
The MacGuffin. Yeah, that was the word that I was looking for. Thank you. Now Forsaken, on the other hand, now that one feels like the complete thing. By the way. Another reason why it's hard to relate to or care about your character is because your character doesn't fucking speak.
No,
he doesn't say a word. Forsaken though, I feel like okay, now you're talking about a very strong character. Something shit got real. This is Ned Stark losing his head kind of situation. You don't expect a major character, especially one as loved or hated. It goes both ways, as integral as Cade 6, gone. And I'm not talking about like, this is gonna be Avengers, like they're gonna revive or something like that. No, this is like he's fucking gone. And who's gonna replace him suddenly? And I know that some new character will have to be have to come on. I suspect it's gonna be the next expansions,
or Destiny 3.
Oh, that'd be sad if you had to wait that long. that was like, no, but I don't think they can. Anyway, anything's possible. But what I'm trying to say is that I play Forsaken, and now I'm getting the story beats. I'm enjoying them. I'm wanting to go to the next one, not because I just want to get the next piece of gear, but because I really, this guy really gonna get it. This is a revenge story. I'm interested on knowing what's going to happen next. And also, I really like the setting. Mm-hmm. The setting is it's like almost Serenity.
Like the movie?
The movie?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it feels very Western, space Western.
Okay.
And...
Which is what I think it was supposed to be. I mean, that's what I thought when I first saw the Cosmodrome.
The first time, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The first time you see this, and I believe that was the idea of the original Destiny, was going to be playing hard on that. And there was even footage
that makes sense with the revolvers and the
having
pistols.
The revolvers and pistols and all that, and there were footage showing game cutscenes that were left out of Destiny 1 because in order to make it the nonsense that they became, not in order to make it that, but because apparently there was a problem getting that all together at the end, and they just had to do the MacGuffin and whatever.
It got rushed.
Yeah, it got rushed. But you see characters. You see actually. I think the bad guy from this one, from Forsaken, you actually get to see him
in the first one.
In the first one, yes. Well, in that footage that is not available to the public, that leak. It's on the internet. You can find it. So which is to say, they are aware that the game had a story deficit, and they are correcting, and they're doing the right step. One of the reasons why I got curious about Forsaken was, well, I need to know what happened to Cade. I know he dies, but why? What took him there, and what's going to happen now? And so far, that game has been giving me those things that I'm looking for. Will it change your mind? Hell no. I will not say because I know I know you already said it. Destiny is not for you. This is not going to change your mind. For you to enjoy this, not to play it, for you to really enjoy this, you have to at least have a level of interest.
A history with Cade 6. Obviously, I can tell you right now, playing first Destiny, Cade 6 wasn't there. He was probably part of an expansion later on.
No, K6 wasn't there. It's just, and that shows you.
That shows you
exactly
the problem. What I'm thinking. So he was
there from the get-go.
He was a non-factor, you know what I mean, at that point.
Yeah.
But the whole, so yeah, I mean I think in the end that's what I'm leaning towards that more. Is to say, you know what, this I'm not, and in any way I'm not saying it's a bad game, and I don't think there's anybody who can look at this and say it's a bad game.
There's a couple people in there.
No, I think the most you can say is an okay game, because realistically,
it's not for me.
It's exactly. It's an okay game.
Broken.
It's not for me.
Well,
however,
that's also arguable.
Well, I don't know. I had some issues just trying to put on armor yesterday, and it was saying trying to get in contact with Destiny servers. I'm like, why? I'm just trying to switch armor here.
Wow.
So.
But that might be busy. I was not defending it. I'm just saying because I had the issue where suddenly the game started giving me campaign missions. I was like, which I'm hoping that when I log in tonight just to see it gets resolved, because otherwise I'm stuck. Like I can't progress in the campaign because suddenly this is the first time I've seen this happen on any on any of the two. The game gave me the last mission, the second mission. I beat it, and it's not telling me where to go next. So I'm not sure if am I supposed to patrol and waste time, even though that looks like.
I remember wasting so much time on the moon and freaking the first one.
That wizard came from the moon.
It came from the moon.
Remember that Peter Dinklage was the voice of the.
And you know what? In retrospect, it wasn't that bad. It
was kind of terrible.
It was just terribly meh.
It was terrible because there was no, you could tell that he had absolutely no interest in there.
At least he sounded like it, yeah.
Just getting a check. Honestly,
so
some of the lines over there were terrible.
Another problem that I have with, and this is just my problem. This is just my issue, and it's just that I am glad, and I am happy for all the people who are playing this, that you especially those who really wanted a story, that you have finally got your story, and there it is, and it's a solid one. It's a revenge story, which is always really a good story. However,
John Wick,
the path that it took to get here, it's especially if you've been buying in from the beginning. The reason I asked you earlier roughly what was those amounts, if you've bought every Destiny and its expansion and everything, you've already paid $300 essentially is what you're doing. Forsaken brings you up to $300. So $300 to finally get.
But you're seeing it as one game though.
Well, I am, because of the 10-year plan that they mentioned.
Yeah, so, but that means nothing.
No,
because
I know. I'm just saying, for the record, I only had the first and the second one. What I got for those two was nothing. It's just it's a great shooter. That's right. It's just a shooter, and you go in, you kill everything, you follow the next dot that takes you to the next space, and you move on, basically.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's personally, just for Mad Dog, it's a little overrated. You know what I'm saying? In this, and then that I might even be fair technically, because people love to hate on it anyway. So, but I wanted to real quick, because we're already kind of good on time here. But
you're always concerned about time. Let it run. People
don't worry about it.
People need the time for the commute. Let's do a 3-hour one. Let's keep talking.
Fair enough.
Oh, by the way, to be fair. That level of entry, that's inflated. Us inflating. In reality, if you wanted to get the whole Destiny experience,
if you would have bought
right
the
now,
expansions,
not even. I mean, because if you're buying the expansion, you don't mind spend because that's like getting an expansion for Uncharted. Basically, you don't need to, but you like it, and therefore you're gonna spend more. And so it shouldn't be looked at, oh, you already spent $150 on it. You could get the whole Destiny, including the expansion and this new one, for, I believe, $60. So you can get the entire game. You don't need to buy Destiny Vanilla and the 2 expansions and Forsaken. You could just get Forsaken, and it'll give you a whole Destiny.
Okay, if you get it now. Like if you're starting fresh.
Right.
Now.
Oh, well, now in the future, yeah.
True. But from now on. That's yeah. But if you've been an early adopters, and in general, early adopters, kind of, you're an early adopter. You're basically buying in to an unproven thing, especially the very first Destiny. So you kind of walk into it. But I'm just saying, overall, and again, I only have a little bit of experience in it, but it just feels to me like it's always fell short of what, and even people who play the game all the time have still complaints. And we didn't even get into some of the other stuff that they had. Let me talk about.
If people complain and they're still playing it, they're
it's out of love.
They're complaining, but it's still exactly. You still enjoying it, because if you were complaining like a lot of people did, where they got disgusted with the way they were thinking and they stopped playing altogether, that I can understand. But if you're complaining but you're still on it, then you're just
okay. Well,
this is not bothering you that much that you will stop.
That may be true, but we bringing up so moving to the future now. Before we get to the future part, I want to bring up the fact that yes, it is now available on PlayStation Plus for the full month. Destiny 2, and you just get it and it's in there, and unfortunately it's an 82 gig download, so prepare yourself.
Brace yourself.
That said, the fact that it's on PlayStation Plus makes me wonder a little bit. I actually have to look back and go, did Destiny 1 ever come on PlayStation Plus? No. So a year after literally a year, because it came out in September last year, September this year, a year later it's on PlayStation Plus.
No, it came out Destiny 2?
Destiny 2 came out last September.
I thought it came on September 2016 though.
17.
17?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
I
first
think
one
you're
came
right.
out
I think you're
14,
right. I think you're right. Yeah,
so 1 year later it's on PlayStation Plus. Which even when we saw it on the list going, whoa, they're actually doing this on PlayStation. That's crazy, I think it speaks volumes to say, yes, there are a lot of people still playing, but I think there are a lot less people than they thought was
definitely. Oh yeah.
So I think, and I was going to mention some of the early Destiny 2 mistakes, like the shaders that were consumables and the XP scaling and all that stuff. I think that kind of left people with a bad taste in their mouth, and this is them trying to hey, here's a free game, and if you like it, guess what, here's a Forsaken over here for $40, and that gives you everything you missed off before or whatever.
Not to mention,
I've seen
Forsaken's the hot new stuff, but so let's use Destiny as an ad campaign, basically.
Yes. And it smells a little to me like, maybe I may over exaggerating, but a little bit of desperation. It's like, okay, we're not seeing the numbers, and this could be a deal, because we all know that Activision and Sony have been
partners
sharing a bed on this particular product since it came out. So that could be something that they had already worked in, although I don't think so, because I don't see how Sony would do that if because Sony has to pay them to say, hey, we're going to make your game free. So why would they put that into the contract? They don't have to. So I really think that this is some sort of deal that Activision and Bungie has and Sony have going on. Obviously,
I think it was a marketing move. Honestly, I see it as a marketing move for a game that was losing number.
Losing player base.
Player base. Not subscriber, because nobody subscribed. But yeah, I definitely see it as a marketing, but also see it as a smart move.
It is, business wise, hell yeah.
Because if you want to sell the next thing, well, what better way than to, hey, those people that kind of were in the fence but didn't want to spend the money because they heard Destiny was crap, but now they're playing it, and yes, some of them are your Alex Infante, where they're like, yeah, I tried it and no, or yourself, even though you played the first one. I don't know if he played the first one, but anyway, for those people that are like that, there's the other group that are like, oh shit, I'm hooked now. And oh yeah, I'm interested. I already beat it, for example, or now I want to play more, and they go buy it. So it was definitely a smart move. a little bit. I wouldn't necessarily. And you corrected, maybe not saying that desperation might be too strong of a word, but it was definitely corrective action.
Yeah,
because yes, they were losing. They were losing their play. They're losing their player base, and also let's not forget, Anthem awaits.
That it does. Oh, and Division 2 on top of that, which I know it doesn't.
I'll say
maybe not for you, but there is a huge player base for.
No,
Division.
I don't care. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I don't have interest on Anthem. I mean, subject to change if something extraordinary happens, like with God of War. But right now, it just. I think that's the one that competes more directly with Destiny in the sense how they're talking about sci-fi shooters.
Perhaps, yeah. Well, that's still kind of sci-fi Division, sort of.
Yeah.
But I mean, those two. There's a big market out there, and obviously, you have your timeline as to when you have to do something to keep people going. So moving to the future of Destiny. In general,
Back to the Future.
What does it need to do? What does it need to change, improve, remove? You know what I mean? For it to be viable, because it's clear that they saw the numbers dip. Take a look at Siege. What is it? Rainbow Six Siege. Mm-hmm. Their numbers are consistent, and they're there. They are playing all the freaking time. The first division, people still are playing the hell out of that shit. This is what Activision and Bungie want. Clearly, they see something not happening, or maybe that this is their way of saying, hey, this is the only way we can continue going forward. What other changes do they have to do?
Well, first of all, to clarify, a hell of a lot more people are playing Destiny than playing the Division.
Oh no, no, I'm not saying it's less. I'm just saying that there's a lot of people playing.
There's a lot
of people playing.
Destiny.
I mean, Division. Excuse me.
Second, what do they have to do? I think this is the story elements are on the right path. You keep giving us very interesting story portions for the people that care about that, and forget it. You already have the people that are interested on your high level, rates and all that stuff. Maybe make it a little bit more accessible. And though I'm not saying that I will solve that problem.
They did that with the beginning of Destiny 2 with having the loot drop a little bit more, and some people have said, this is articles that I've read, that actually hindered the game because you already had a certain expectation of the grind, and now you've eliminated that grind.
The problem is that the content was not there. There was only one raid when it came out. So of course, if you make it easy and you have everybody doing that raid, everybody's gonna be like, okay, now what? Now what is there to do? So of course, for Destiny 3, I would say keep the story beats. You're doing good on that. I realize it's not easy to do story on a first person on a first person shooter, but you could actually, that's not entirely true, but you could humanize a lot of more elements that right now they're just way too, the lore is way out there and it's not even good. Like, I'm about to not caring about who the Traveler is and stuff like, what I mean? Make it more personal level, like you did with Kate. And I'm not saying kill everybody, but if you must, the levels of the raids, for example, yes, have raids that people that have limited time. For example, the casual Destiny player could reach, could try to reach and play. And I'm not saying they don't necessarily, do that now. I think they're doing well, but there could be a little bit more work towards that. And then you have your heroics that the hardcore of the hardcore could do. And those you give, whatever other special. Because if you're going to be playing Destiny hardcore, yes, you do deserve to stand out. You do, deserve, lose the restrictions with the, the silliness of not being able to equip, more than 2 legendaries. That's kind of dumb because that defeats the purpose of getting the loot in the first place. And also ease away with your microtransactions. I mean, I understand you have them there. The problem that you had at the beginning was that you were reeling back and forth, like if you had a crazy fish that was trying to escape and you were reeling back and forth first. You try to fool us into, fool us into thinking that we were getting the amount of XP that we were getting because the number would display something, but the actual increase was something else in order to make it feel like, oh, this is grinding too much. Let me just go ahead and spend money on that crap. Hey, if you're gonna maintain a levels again as a service without subscription, I get it. I understand. You need to have that, but you have seen you saw what happened when you started doing that crap. You see the numbers, dwindling. Now I feel like there is a resurgence, because it was a little bit difficult to go into Destiny, into the service, and you were even having the service issues at the beginning. That usually means a lot of people are playing.
On it, yeah.
So learn from this, and honestly, I don't expect to carry my progress from Destiny 2. It'll be nice if there was some sort of recognition, on it. I was okay with the recognition that I got with the little blurbs of my encounters. I didn't need to carry anything, but I realized that more people care about that stuff. So if maybe you can make it a little bit more consistent with that. And by God, let us play with those ships. Those ships cannot be just pretty loading screens. That's stupid.
What's the... Oh, gosh. They're going to kill me. Warframe, you're actually in your ship before you go to. So throw it in there.
Yeah, throw it in. Yeah, that'd be. You know what?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. They can learn from Warframe and make those ships a livable space at the very least.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. And I agree with all your takes on as far as the improvements. Obviously, I believe matchmaking was an issue at one point, and I think they have improved on that. Keep that going when it comes to PvP. Obviously, you don't want to screw that up because you have a lot of people going in there. Also include new modes. I understand that the Gambit mode is a very interesting and a mode that many people are enjoying.
Oh yeah,
I haven't got a chance to try it. I was going to try it the other day with Gilberto, Lady Red, and
I haven't tried
Ms.
it myself.
Reaper, but unfortunately I couldn't do it because I was so freaking low level. It's like, no, you're not ready for this shit. But that said, yeah, I mean, those are definitely some good ideas, and I think that if they heed to those type of things, that they'll obviously continue to go strong, and that's what I would want from that. Again, I would definitely not want anything happen to a game that many people enjoy playing, or even those who don't but still play.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go into the comments for this because we actually had a good amount of comments on the group.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was preparing them just in case.
Oh no, I got it. Yeah. So I'm gonna start here with. Let me go. Sorry. Well, actually, the first.
Well, we start with Giovanni always because if not, we're not doing this right.
Okay, if you want to start with
I'm kidding. Not playing preference. It's just he happens to be the first comment. I think. Hold on, who's the first commenter?
Yeah, first commenter is actually you, but I guess you don't.
Oh no, I don't count. Who cares about my opinion anyway?
Giovanni said, "I will try it out this week only because it was given as part of the PlayStation Plus loot. I like the first one, yet this one felt right from the start." As it should have been an expansion.
Good point.
I will listen to the Hot Topic of the Week carefully and try to get your impressions because, in my opinion, not only they did not, but they also fulfill. Gotcha. But they also lost more than half of its player to a deceiving taxes full of overhype and again more promises. That's what we were mentioning, that a lot of the player base faded away.
Yeah,
but clearly
this next one is a perfect example.
Yeah, a perfect example indeed. Armando Chavari, who I can tell you was a hardcore Destiny
as
1
Destiny,
player.
Yeah,
okay.
Him and Ramiro are like the top, pillars.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and there are other people, but those are the two that come to mind.
He says,
I play with them.
I have yet to commit to Forsaken. Not sure I will right away either, says Armando. That alone kind of spells exactly what a lot of hardcore Destiny players are probably feeling.
I got the feeling that might not hold.
Oh, no, I mean, considering
I'm gonna say,
considering what you've been saying about it and how much of an improvement it is. And by the way, we'll get to it here.
No, but not based on me, but based on the reviews and the general.
Yeah, and on top of some of the reviews right here in this post as well, Danny Serrano here, he mentioned, I just bought the DLC, so I will comment more soon. So I guess we'll hear more from him. Daniel Melendez, Forsaken story missions and adventures were fun to play. Personally, I think it is a good DLC.
Yeah.
So this is Daniel that you were playing with the other night as well.
That guy was extremely cool to play. To handle the BS that I put him through. At one point, I was like, "Hold on, let me get the expansion," and I must have taken like 10 minutes, and I was like, "He disconnected already." I go back, he was still there waiting.
Yes, we all know about the BS you put people through.
Yes, especially the podcast.
John Chakrod, Mr. Chakrod himself says, "I started last night, and it seems okay so far. Way different. I noticed the Guardians got more speed. Old guns look different. The enemy is the good part, but I'm playing tonight and I will see more. Well, what I heard is you hunt for bad guys from prison. I haven't gotten to that part yet." He's speaking specifically about the Forsaken DLC. Yeah. Ramiro, one of the other pillars of the Destiny community our group.
Yep.
D2, first, when it was released, was total garbage. What does that say? With the recent updates, it has gotten way better, especially with the new weapon system. With the Warmind DLC, we got some stuff, some good stuff, but there was still no reason to grind out for loot since most of it was garbage, especially raid loot. Ooh, that's even worse. I'm having fun with Forsaken, especially the new weapon system and the Gambit. It is really fun. If you haven't tried Gambit, do, especially with some friends. Solo queue, not so much.
I had to admit, I still don't understand what changed on the weapon systems.
The weapon system changed?
Because you notice a trend. A lot of people are mentioning, I really like the new weapon systems. And me as a casual Destiny player, going back to it, I'm like, I don't see what really changed on the weapon system other than the icons are different. Now I have icons that says 1 and 2, but and I understand that now I can put like a bow and arrow or even on the primary thing, which another thing that I think is silly, not letting you just put your weapons anywhere. If you want a primary or secondary, who cares? But now you can have weapons that you normally were not able to equip on your primary slot. Now you can. So they're referring to that because I can do that in every game.
Perhaps, I don't know. Amy Ortiz says, "I'm loving Forsaken in its entirety." Heart emoji.
Hashtag I'm coming home.
I'm coming home, Ace.
She really liked this expansion, and she was one of the person that got me hyped up into getting the expansion. I was like, well, this is just too much good thing, and I need to be part of it. Even if I get to the point where I'm like, okay, no, I'm done. But no, so far I can see myself finishing this one.
Well, I can see myself definitely finishing the main storyline. Overall, I'm not sure how I feel specifically to it, but we'll see from there. I mean, I'm only a few hours.
You can finish it.
Yeah.
Also, it's a shame that I'm not playing on PS4 because otherwise we could have been hanging out.
We could,
but we have more people in the group playing on PS4, so that's fine.
Yeah, definitely. I was actually playing with Gilberto and them, and I want to try the Gambit. Obviously, everybody's talking highly about the Gambit. I'd like to see what that's about.
I don't know what the Gambit is yet.
That's
I know it's PvE.
Okay. PvPvE.
Sure.
I think that's what it is.
PP.
Yeah. Slim Merc actually on the Instagram says, if Destiny still sucks, then yes, it has fulfilled its promise. Again, we understand. It's fun to hate. Sorry, but in my opinion, the game was trashed since Destiny 1 alpha/beta. They should have made Destiny 2 free after charging players for the terrible game that Destiny 1 and the What the? And they take your cash patch that they labeled the Taken King expansion, where they charge the fans for more money to fix their own mistakes. The audacity of Bungie.
I know, right? By the way, how's that Metal Gear Solid 5 game coming along? What was it? The second
Are you talking about the game that came out, The Survive?
The Survive, yeah. Metal Gear. How's that coming along with Konami?
That is, oh God, that game.
I know.
So overall, I mean, that's our overall thoughts on that. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, man. I would say if you're having, if you're not having fun with any game, there is no reason. Don't try to force yourself into it for any reason, because there are just too many games out there, and everybody have their takes and their likes. So it's good that they give the game for free. That will help at least a lot of people that say, "Oh, this is trash." Well, you have the opportunity to play it now. If you play it and you still feel that way, then you know what? We respect your opinion, and play something else.
Definitely.
Which is different from saying this game is trash and not having even tried it.
Hey, fair enough.
Yeah.
I have one last thing to add, and that is that there's eventually, or this.
By the way, that's in general. I'm not speaking specific on anybody, just in case, because you laughed in a way that made it like
I said, it's
this
fun
is not
to
directed to anyone.
It's fun
to hate, and sometimes it is fun to hate. Like when I used to hate on Nintendo, and every now and then
you still hate Nintendo, even though you have a Switch sitting right over there.
It's collecting dust over there. Stupid thing.
Yes.
Until Mario All Stars or whatever the hell it's called.
Jesus Christ, Smash Brothers.
There you go. Thank you.
My last thing is that I received an image on the PlayStation 4 account from Lady Red, and essentially it was her guardian stroking her cock. Essentially, yes. And maybe you guys saw the image on the Facebook group.
Yeah.
I just want to say that, first off, it's an interesting picture. You should take a look at it. And I assure you it's family friendly.
It's a chicken. We're talking about a rooster. All right. Come on, guys.
That said, I didn't know what she was referring to as I was listening to her. And I was like, what the hell is going on?
Out of context, I was like, what the hell is Anala doing?
So, So she sent me that image. She posted it on the group, but she sent me an image through the PlayStation message app and the actual, in the console, and I wasn't I wasn't playing at the time, so it actually came to my phone because I had the PlayStation message app on my phone. And of course my phone was on vibrate, so
for your pleasure.
So evidently when I finally noticed what it was, I realized, oh, that's what she meant by her cock. And then of course I was like, I just realized that her guardian just basically dry humped me in my pocket.
Wow.
With this little buzz that came to me. So that is all, ladies and gentlemen, that I have for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please go to goodgame.tech. Join the conversation there, especially if you're a Destiny player, because you will be surrounded by love. Also, go to share, subscribe, and share the podcast with everybody, please. And again, if you are on iTunes, please leave a great review for us there, and 5-star. That'd be awesome to help out the podcast. And if it's anything less than 5-star, just say
5 stars. Our promoters. 3, 4, 3, 2, and 1 are detractors.
No
like
need
the
to
bullshit
detract.
they give us at work. It's like, oh my God.
No need to detract. Just leave us a comment on Facebook.
Oh, stop hating. It's not fun to hate on everything.
Exactly.
I love loving things. For example.
Exactly. All right, guys. So we'll see you next week.
GG.